in one of the four the major accounting company hai, and he has agreed to share his strategy on the pair trading, which is a totally risk free. मतलब आपने एक पोजीशन लिया है और एक पोजीशन को बेच रहे हैं तो completely risk free है, and how you can take the money from the market, that is what he is going to explain. So over to Mr. Mohit ji. Mohit ji, now you can start. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Myself, Mohit. So on request of Mr. Kothari, sir, we will today discuss pair trading strategy. Okay. So before we start this strategy, I'd like to update everyone that this strategy that we're going to learn today is not something that I have created or invented. This is something I've read some books or some research papers as well, the links of which will be shared as well. And there are multiple ways to do pair trading. This is one of the most basic ways. And then there are more advanced ways to calculate, to derive decisions for the pair trading. So today we'll go very in a very structured manner, in a very processed manner, learning from the basics and then looking at various use cases, examples, where it worked, where it did not work, what are the common terminologies, and what, I mean, when you talk to someone about pair trading, then the basic things that you should know before you have a good discussion on. With this, I start my session. So I start with my own quote. Nobody said it, just me saying to myself that I make no attempt to forecast the markets. My efforts are always devoted to finding abnormalities in the correlated pairs. So before I go too deep into the presentation, a quick disclaimer, this presentation is all just my views, often goes wrong, right? My opinions should not be taken seriously because even I don't. I quickly change my positions when I change my views. Not a SEBI registered analyst, neither planning to be one. And this is all free, only in good spirit with the family, shared with the family, and but who likes free, right? There is no, there will be an indicator today discussed as well, but no indicator shall be considered as a holy grail. So whatever you see today is also nothing, is not like a magic formula or something. It's just based upon some code, line of codes and maths as well, just basic stuff. So indicator is just to guide you, right? Andeko lati ka sahara, as we say in Hindi. While making this presentation, all bulls and bears are always there in the market. I'm a kangaroo jumping from here and there. So nobody was harmed. So the purpose of today's presentation is like this. Everybody is like looking at Dow or where NASDAQ is heading. So we want to learn something so that we go happy today. There is something to learn for everyone. So when it rains, you look for rainbows. When it's dark, you look for the stars. That's all I always say to myself. So going to the next slide. So many of you know me from a very long time, those who have been connected with me, but those who are new to the group or those who don't know me, I'm just very brief introduction to myself. So I work at a Big Four consulting firm. I'm a SAP technology senior con. I specialize in automotive sector, mainly into production planning and quality management processes. Overall, I have around 10 plus years of experience. My market experience is around 5+ years. So probably less than all of you, and the total as well as the market experience. So I'm learning every day like all of you, like as market teaches us new day. By qualification, I'm an electronics engineer and BTech in finance. I graduated from Great Lakes Institute of Management. I'm a double gold medalist in my finance module. I certified in NEC certified in a lot of things, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, all of these things in 2016. I thought I should have it to have an edge over others to get a very good job. This was not for a trading purpose in those days. This was just to get my resume very healthy. I specialize in Pine scripts, on TradingView, VBA, cloud-based JavaScript, etc. So I'm an IT freak as well. I developed my own models, executed my own back-tested and proven strategies that I learned from all the sources. I conduct no training. I don't have any groups. I'm just a common normal guy. Don't sell indicators or any Google Sheets or any bots, algos, etc. So just whatever I do it for myself. And I'm a part-time trader. Whatever time I get, I just trade for my own self. So expectation settings. Today's session is about pair trading. So when we say pair trading, we for now today shall forget option trading strategies that you all love for a couple of hours. Options can be mixed with pair trading. It's an advanced topic, can help you reduce your margin requirements, risk, rewards, etc., etc. But today, to keep the session very simple, we will not be discussing about it. Maybe in some other day we can discuss. Okay. Any questions? You feel free to interrupt in between. I don't mind. All questions are good questions for me. Maybe help me improve in some or the other way. Criticism also is good. If you want to criticize something, any approach, I am more than welcome to hear you out. Your participation in today's session is equal to my motivation and will be equal to more learning for all. And please do not send me any personal requests for any indicators or Google Sheets and backtested reports, etc. Because I have very bad experience sharing it with people and had to answer a lot of queries, etc. So just whatever is private, let's keep it private, okay? So when we talk about pair trading, right? So I basically started learning it from this book. So you should always first ask the speaker himself that where did he himself learn it from? Okay, so this is a very good book by Mark Whistler, Trading Pairs. But let me tell you, this is very basic stuff, which was written years back on the US market. Things here in India are different. The volatility is different. The techniques, the basics remains the same, but the techniques I have tweaked a little bit based upon my experience doing the pair trading. Now let's start with first understanding what is a pair. Pair hota kya hai, right? A pair can be as good as an husband and wife. For example, you and your wife, you both get up together, go to market together, come to the night, have dinner together and sleep. So every day you follow a same pattern, same path. If you live together, you would certainly, but there are times when there are some small fights between husband and wife. They separate their paths for a couple of hours or days, but they again come back together to normalcy, right? So this is a good example of a pair which is there in our normal day-to-day life.
हेलो
Yes,
हाँ
sir.
बाबू ठीक है बाबू म्यूट कर रहा हूँ हाँ
Okay.
तीन बात पे या carry on Mohit, carry on. Yeah.
Okay. Similarly, there are twins, right? They go to school together. They have their own friends. They give their own exams, but they sometimes differ from each other. But at the end, they show same characteristics, common characteristics, right? Owner and pet. You take your pet to a walk every day in the morning. He follows your path wherever you take to him. But he will smell anything somewhere, go near to the pole. He will deviate from the path that you both are taking for a very short time, and then he will come again back to you, and you will keep walking in the garden on the same path. So this is a pair where they follow a same path, trajectory, have same characteristics, but for a very short time, there will be some or the other abnormality that we capture, or there will occur a time that there will be some arbitrage kind of an opportunity, which not even just me, I mean, a lot of hedge funds and a lot of computerized algos, they catch it very fast. I have my own relatives working in some of the hedge funds and in Singapore-based firms. So we often talk about all of this. So this is, I'm just telling because this is very common, very old, but nobody talks about it because today's option is the hot topic always to learn and talk about. Anyways, stock market examples in terms of pair tradings are HDFC Bank, HDFC, both are from the same group, similar kind of nature of a business, owners, etc. Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Finance, Nifty, Bank Nifty in terms of the index, Euro and GBP, they're both part of the dollar index, gold and silver in terms of commodities, crude and natural gas, again in terms of commodities. We will see examples of many of these in the upcoming slides. Okay, I hope till now what is a pair is at least an introduction to what a pair is clear to everyone. If not, you feel free to interrupt. Now let's take an example, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. Both these banks are very similar in nature. One second. They are both private sector banks. They have similar banking products. They have the same client base, almost same. They have almost similar kind of a presence in our country. They have same regulatory environment in which they function. And they also face similar kind of challenges in terms of running their businesses. So given that there is a very good, very common nature of how these companies operate, then having said that all of these remain same, then their share price should also follow a same kind of a pattern, right? But we often see that do not happen, right? So whenever there is an opportunity where they do not behave a similar kind of a pattern, a pair trading opportunity arrives or becomes active, or I'll call it, it comes under my alert conditions or something. So the whole purpose of doing pair trading is to identify such opportunities so that we can take minimum risk and try to gain profit, try to make profit out of these opportunities where there are some abnormal behavior in the stock prices of a very similar companies, index, commodities, and currencies. So when does an anomaly gets created, right? You will have this common question that when will HDFC Bank will not behave like an ICICI Bank? So let's say there are cases where HDFC Bank is announcing result today, but ICICI Bank would be announcing result 3 weeks after. Almost they are in the same timelines, but let's assume there are cases such like this, where HDFC for a very short time will behave very differently. Similarly, ICICI announcing results, or there can be any top executive of a bank, an MD or a chairman, is resigning something. There is a very weird behavior in the stock price for a very short time. When I say short time, maybe a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, or sometimes it can be for a very a couple of hours as well, 2 or 3 hours, and then it takes stop losses of everyone and goes back to normal. Right, HDFC merger news is the recent example where HDFC went really crazy for a few days. So whenever you see a chaos created in a market, there is a lot of hoo-halla about any news in the market, that the share price becomes the nature of the stock becomes very volatile. It behaves very differently. Nobody knows where it's going to go. When we see even the options, the implied volatility will be rising up. So there itself comes an opportunity where you need to, as a trader, if you are a paid trader, you need to go ahead and check, is there any opportunity for me to make money out of this? Okay, some will call it very risky, but I'll tell you it's not that risky as compared to what people do in terms of making strangles and not knowing how to adjust. And so in terms of that, it's very I'll say little less riskier. So there is excessive speculation in one stock as compared to second stock, mutual funds, buying activities, DIs, pumping money into one of these, okay, and FIIs as well. So how can we, as a trader, take advantages out of these anomalies? We'll learn about this. So in terms of pair trading, what we do is we go short or we go long in one of the instrument, and we go short in the other one. So let's say you go long in HDFC Bank, then you have to go short in ICICI Bank. Which one to go long, which one to go short, I will come to that later on. Okay, but the advantage here is that when you take a naked future position, you tend to lose the future premium with time if you hold it. If the premium is built in, if assuming there is premium built in, it's not trading in the discount, there is premium, so you will tend to lose the premium amount with time, as you all know, right? I'm just quoting that out. When you do pair trading, the future premiums will negate, they will cut itself each other. So that risk is not there. So next is like, how do you decide to go long on which one and short on which one? I'll discuss that with examples, with the conditions. How many lots to decide, how many, with like, there are example like gold and silver, which we recently discussed. I put in the group. We were short 2 lots in silver, but we were long only 1 lot in gold. So how 1:2 was decided, we'll come and talk about that in the later coming in this slides when we reach there. So for now, just hold on. I know these are the basic questions that we will have looking at when we say just going long and short, how do you make money out of it? When to enter, what's the risk, where should be my stop loss? Can I put my stop loss in the system? How do you track it? All of that we will discuss later on. So in terms of advantages, the next advantage by theory that people in the books, people on YouTube and the books say it's a market neutral strategy. But trust me, it is not. It's not a market neutral strategy. It is in theories that it is a market neutral strategies, but due to the different nature of the volatile condition of the stocks. When I say volatile conditions, that means the annualized volatility. उसके साल भर का volatility हम जब निकालते हैं, तो अलग-अलग होता है stock का. So that is reason number 1. It is not market neutral. People on YouTube and books will say if the market falls tomorrow by 10%, so HDFC Bank, if you were long, you lost 10%. ICICI Bank, if you were short, you lost 10%. So in a nutshell, you hardly lost any money even in the black swan events. But trust me, ऐसा होता नहीं है. I'll explain later that how the volatility comes into picture, how the contract size comes into picture when we go later in the example. So, but in theory, it is a market neutral strategy because you are always long in one, long in short in one. So you can take a trade and go to sleep, go to your work. If you're working professional, someone like me, you don't have to worry a lot about what's happening in the market and constantly looking at your screen and getting impatient. वो होगा नहीं इसमें. Okay. With times, you will see that there are lower drawdowns. And because it's not that riskier if it is done with proper knowledge. And I'll say if you even want to do it, you take a very good time, 2-3 months doing paper trading. Or if you have good size, then you can even trade by one lot to learn. Okay, so there are lower drawdowns as compared to very similar margin blocking strategies, I'll call it, if you want to compare apples to oranges. Suitable for working professionals like me, and no need to worry about gap up, gap down, etc. Easy to monitor, easy to enter and exit. And it helps you sometimes in utilizing your free margin that is available. I often have comes to situation where I have free margins lied up somewhere in a ratio trade or somewhere else where it takes time, an expiry date, till the expiry day I'll make some profit, right? So then if I see an opportunity here, you can play with your free margin or something in a better risk reward trade you can put your money into. So that's another advantage of it. So not talk about only advantages, there are disadvantages as well. So we need to know both white and black side of the story. So in terms of disadvantage, there are not very opportunities there in the market in terms of pair trading. So difficult to find an opportunity if you don't have any algorithm or any rule-based system where you can track a lot of pairs which are correlated. Timing of the entry again becomes this is always applicable. Like even if you want to do a swing trade, timing is always the key, right? So that's applicable here as well. I'll not call it a disadvantage, but yes, in pair trading, I'll show how when we take an example of the recent trade we took, how the timing of the strategy is the key. If you remember, I talked about one pair trade I was going to share about in the group was on the Alchem lab and the Auropharma. Because of couple of hours, I was late to check. I said, okay, it's not that really risk reward is not that great now. So we tend to avoid these things. Higher margin requirement as compared to, say, let's say you take a Nifty long, that will take only 1.5 lakh of your margin. But when you do both Nifty and Bank Nifty long and short, the exchange will not give you any margin benefit. It will take around 2.5 to 3 lakh margin if you do Nifty and Bank Nifty pair trading. So when you do two futures, so there are 2 times the brokerages, 2 times the taxes involved as well. Okay, there is stock specific risk. So let's say you are long in Bajaj, not Bajaj Finance, yeah, and you are short in Muthoot Finance. There is a news on Muthoot Finance. So there is a stock specific risk that's always there. Even if you trade anything else, there is a stock specific risk. This strategy is also the same. It's not prone to all these things, where if a founder makes a fraud and if there is any mishappening with the founder, he died or something happened, something wrong happened, that nobody can predict, right? So there is always such risk, but the risks are lesser because the other pair would also have some effect on it. Because for example, there is a news on Reliance, then other related stocks with the Reliance, oil, etc., they will also react to that news. And the last being is the pair continues to drift. What I meant by pair continues to drift is that, say, for example, we saw that there is a very huge divergence getting created. Okay, for example, you can see it right now happening. Indian market is up and US market is down, continues to drift. There is continuous disengagement between the two markets. I know for a fact that for a couple of weeks or months it will happen. Ultimately, they will converge. Either US market will come up, meet our market will fall down and meet the US markets. But you don't know till when the pair will continue to drift away. So that is another disadvantage. So if you have any questions, you please feel free to interrupt, because these are very interesting things. If once you start looking at things from various angles, a lot of insights comes out. Okay. So now we'll start deep into how to get to a trade. That this was all
I
a
have
basic.
one question, Mohit. We talked about a lot of different things on pair trading. This is amazing the way you started the presentation. One of the first questions that came to mind is, what is a typical duration of a trade? You know, and some of these topics that you have touched upon might be relevant to ask that question. That's the reason I'm asking now.
Okay, so a couple of trades that went had a duration of average 15 days. Some trades. So when I'll talk about next in this, what is the stop loss? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so when I talk about the stop loss, I'll also explain that where to put the stop loss. And there is a second type of stop loss. We call it as time-based stop loss. Meaning when you took a trade and there is, like, let's say 1 month and 5 days, you see your margin is blocked, you're losing an opportunity cost. So that means there is a time-based stop loss you have to take and come out and put your your money into margin into some other pair or any other strategy. So typically, to answer your question in very short, it's around 15 to 18 days. Sometimes a trade may give you very good result even in 2 or 3 days. Recent example is the gold and silver trade we took on Monday before Dussehra, and the next day on the Dussehra, it was giving 10% return on the margin block. So 1 day is also there, 25 days is also there. On an average, I'll say 15 to 18 days or 2 to 3 weeks, you can keep in mind. There are other ways as well. For example, you took a trade, it's not going well, and then you have sufficient margin to take another trade, so same trade, to average that out. I do that. I mean, I'll not recommend everyone, but there are case to case where if I want to stretch any trade, it's up to me, because I'm very sure it's going to work out. On an average, it takes about 15 days to a trade to close.
Okay, and a related question, just really quick, or maybe even a comment, and we can leave it at that. On social media, I've been, reading stuff like decoupling of Indian markets and possibly the global markets. Maybe on a longer time frame, it is true or it is relevant, but maybe not so relevant in a shorter time frame, and trading would ideally be shorter term. So, how does that like either impact, or am I thinking in the right direction?
here you're thinking in the right direction, decoupling or not. I am not that very great analyst to tell. I'll just say, I mean, I tend to take opportunities of some these decoupling scenarios. It has happened in the past. If you put together SPX chart versus Nifty chart or a Dow chart versus Nifty chart, you'll see it is not the very first time that it has decoupled. It has happened many times in the past. It's just that people are free and they are talking about this right now. So you can make money out of this, certainly, if you know how to do it in the right way. Otherwise, just take a stop loss, fine, right? There are I think I was asking someone in the group like how to take what are the good ETFs available for the US based markets. So remaining invested even doesn't harms, right? If I want to put money in ETFs, seeing that okay, the Dow is very down, I might take some position and go short in Nifty future here to take an advantage of it. So really, there is a decoupling right now happening. How long it will go, we can check by data, but data is also will give you very limited information in terms of risk to reward only.
Okay, so in that case, a current pair trade between Nifty and Dow would be like short on Nifty, long on Dow, and it would both work in the favor of the pair. Can I say that?
Yeah. So you can't have a future Dow future here in in our exchange. So you'll have to go with the ETFs available for the equivalent contract size investment in that ETF equivalent to a Nifty future. So invested in ETF and a short in a Nifty would be the trade.
Great. Thanks. Let's move on.
Sorry to interrupt everyone. Basically, let the presentation should go first, okay? And after that, if you have any specific query, please note it down. We'll take QA session at the last because see, flows are getting, disturbed, okay? So
Okay,
Mohit
sorry.
sir, please continue. Don't take any questions in between because see, it will, distract the flow because see, we are focused only what we are going to tell, okay? So please continue first after presentation. We will take the QA session. Okay, please note down your questions. We will take it at the end. Kothari sir.
Agreed. Chaliye.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll continue with this session. So important terminology is that we need to learn. First one is differential. When we say differential, that means closing price of stock 1 minus the closing price of stock 2. And this is the example. I think I took the screenshot of on the Shera. So differential here is that the bank Nifty price minus Nifty price. In pair trading, the pair traders call it differential. Okay, if you read the book as well, it will be wherever you read differential is just meaning the difference of the stock price. Then there is something called a spread. And this is not the option spread, okay, in the vertical spread or debit or credit spread. This is the spread in terms of pairs. So closing value of stock 1 minus the closing value of stock 2. So bank Nifty up 1,000 points, Nifty up 400 something points. The spread is the difference of the two, 711 points. Okay, as simple as that. Ratio is something you divide bank Nifty by Nifty. So why I'm dividing bank Nifty by Nifty and not dividing Nifty by bank Nifty is because bank Nifty has the higher price, higher value, the stock price. Oh, and you can do it by Nifty and bank Nifty as well, but then you will be playing in decimals. All your calculations will vary, and the results out of the calculation will also be very different, very near to each other. But when I have compared both, if you do a smaller value divided by a bigger value, compare it, backtest and compare it with a bigger value divided by smaller value, this tends to give more accurate results. That's why this is something I am suggesting, but feel free to do it however you want to do it. Bank Nifty by Nifty is the ratio, is something called as the ratio. You can put this ratio chart in the trading view or any other terminal that you have. You will get this 2.27 value. So this is three ways. If you now go and read and look at various research papers, they will either follow the one of these three approaches. So I typically look at all of these three. Doesn't harm, right? If you have to do it in Excel, you can check everything. But the main thing I follow is the ratio, because it takes into account a lot of factors, which the above two doesn't. Okay, so we will, for today's session, we will focus on the ratio, but the other two are also good. The same technique that we're going to discuss will also apply on the above two as well. The book that I shared, I think it follows the approach on the spread, the second one, but I don't follow that. I follow the ratio one. So we'll go with the ratio. Again, you can do it on the other two methods as well. So I think now we know what is a pair, what is a ratio, and some of the key terms, advantage, disadvantages. So the next thing, very important thing to learn is what is a correlation in stock market. This is just a very basic definition. On the right, I have put a screenshot of Bank Nifty and Nifty. So historically, if we look at the prices and their day-to-day behavior of their percentage change, of the stock prices, Nifty and Bank Nifty are 96 in the, you see this over here on green, number in green, 96 to 97%. So this means Nifty and Bank Nifty follow a same kind of a trajectory where they're 97% correlated. What is correlated? Meaning if Nifty goes up, Bank Nifty also goes up, Nifty goes down, Bank Nifty also goes down. So if they follow a very similar path, it will be, and every day it will be 100%. Okay, if they totally deviate from each other, like if Nifty goes up, the Bank Nifty fall down, and each of the, let's say the whole 365 days, it happened like this, then this will be minus 100%. So for us as a pair trader, the first filter criteria is to only work in the pairs which have a very good correlation factor. Okay, this is pure maths, nothing very high funda. जो दोनों साथ में काम करते हैं पेयर, उन्हीं पे काम करना है. The filter you can put is something that is having greater correlation greater than 75. I will look. Other than that, I will just simply ignore that. We will come to the conditions in the next slide, but before that, we will look at some very basic mathematics things. So this is correlation. If you do it in an Excel as well, simple correl formula is there in Excel. You can put it, and there is an Excel attached in today's presentation. So once and this presentation is shared with Kothari sir. So once he will share this PPT with you, there is an Excel file in this deck which has all the formulas already built in for you to play around with. Okay. What is a Z-score? So when we talk about Z-score, Z-score is something here, as you see, 1.12. So Z-score meaning it tells you how much, this is the formula, how much from the mean your current value is. So X minus mu divided by the standard deviation is the simple formula. X is the current ratio, minus mu is the mean. So this is let's say 365 annual mean. This is the current ratio divided by the standard deviation of this. So let's say we put a Bollinger Band indicator, right? The standard setting is 20,2. 20 period and 2 deviation, standard deviation. Those who loves Bollinger Band. Whenever the price is above the Bollinger Band, that means it is above the second deviation of the last 20 days, right? So similarly, Z-score, if you see at a value of 3, that means it is at the third deviation away from its mean. As simple as that. वो अपने mean से 3 deviation दूर है, या mean से 3 deviation नीचे है, अगर value 3 है या +3 है या -3 है. So typically, if you see this value as 0, that means the current ratio of the pair is at its mean. जो mean है उसी के बराबर है, because let's say this is something 2 and this is -2, so this whole thing is 0. That means the current price is at its mean. All right. So this is Z-score. What is density curve? This is a very simple, like a bell curve. I think some of you are already aware of it, but let me just reiterate. When I'll go into detail in the next slide how to calculate this. But when you put the daily ratio of, let's say, Nifty, Bank Nifty and Nifty, it'll follow a make a bell curve kind of a figure in the normal distribution scenario. So here when you say the z-score is 1.58, so there is a, by statistical methods, it will say a p-value. I'll not go confuse you a lot. Let me show you a very simple table. So this is how you get the spread, differential, and ratio of a pair. Then you calculate the density curve, which is the normal distribution function. ये Excel यहाँ पे है. This you can look at this Excel, and there are other sheets as well in this Excel that which will show you how to calculate this. Okay, here you will get the density curve. So when you get this density curve, you will get the a z-score out of it, or which you can relate to a p-value, which p-value is basically how much, what is the probability of this thing going back to the mean. For example, if the value is 0.003, that means it is -3 standard deviation away, and the probability of this ratio now going back to the mean is 99.7%. There is still room for some error, but the room for that error is very small. And if you work in a very risk-defined manner, putting meaning very tight stop loss and giving huge target room for your trade to work, then over a period of very long trades, you tend to make money. There will be losses, some stop loss here and there, but you have to look at things for not 1 or 2 or 3 trade. You have to look for many. You have to check for many trade. So just reiterating the fact that we need to check first the correlation. Correlation should be good enough, 75% minimum. The more it is, the better it is. Then you calculate the z-scores and the density curve formulas of everything which is there in this Excel. The higher the z-score or the lower the z-score, meaning it is very highly away from its mean, the probability of it now coming back to its mean is also very higher. This is a very ready reckoner kind of a table I have put here, that you can see that, okay, this is my current density curve value. Then what is the probability of this pair to come back to the mean? Okay. Moving ahead, I'll come to the trade conditions. So the first condition here is the higher value instrument is the numerator, as I just explained, and the lower value, just Nifty, is the lower value. So that is the denominator. Bank Nifty is the higher value, it's the numerator. So that's how you calculate the ratio of it. Correlation greater than equal to minimum 75%. Z-score greater than 3, even near about 3, it's fine. This is your alert condition. Okay, just note it down for now. This is your alert condition. Typically stocks, some pairs will come out around 3. Some low beta counters, let's say some FMCG counters or something, they will rarely hit a z-score of 3. वो 2.7 से ही वापस चले जाते हैं. So that you get to know with experience that which pairs historically turns around from which levels by looking at the volatility and the beta. Beta meaning वो एक हिलता है तो दूसरा कितना हिलता है in comparison market के हिसाब से. सबका पेयर का volatility भी अलग अलग होता है. So typically, let's make a thumb rule. Z-score greater than equal to 3 will be my alert condition. Density curve greater than 0.99. So, and there is no news event that you see upcoming. I'll come again to this particular line in the last slide. Then when you should not do pair trading. Everybody will tell you all of this gyan in some or the other way, but nobody will tell you by experience that when you should avoid it. So we will discuss that in the last slide. So buy triggered will be wait for the high of the ratio candle to be broken. We will go in example in the chart in the next couple of slides. So buy trigger is जो high जो ratio है आपका उसका कैंडल का हाई जब ब्रोक होता है वो हमारा बाय ट्रिगर होता है. SL जो होगा it will be below the swing low, okay, that of the buy trigger. Sell trigger is exactly opposite of it. When the low of the ratio candle will be broken, it will be my sell trigger, and the stop loss will be above the swing high of this sell trigger candle. And then, as I said earlier, a time-based stop loss bhi hoga. Meaning if the trade you've taken has not worked out for 25 days, 30 days, your margin is blocked, opportunity cost of money you're losing, there is another better opportunity, you come out of the trade, whatever, there is the P&L of it. So there is one time-based stop loss as well. Okay, now moving on to the next slide. Divergence and convergence. This is very simple thing. Let me bring the whole slide. So if the ratio or the spread between the two stock is moving away from each other, for example, this is Nifty and this is Bank Nifty, they are going separate every day. They are going separate from each other. That means there is a divergence getting created. That Avinash ji just said, like in the Dow is moving in different direction, Nifty is not moving in that direction. That means there is a divergence getting created. So these are the opportunities that people like me looks at it. When there is hoo-halla somewhere, always there will be some divergence getting created in that correlated pairs. So we get alert at that point. Convergence is something very opposite of divergence. जब दूर जा रहा होता है उसको divergence बोल रहे होते हैं, एक दूसरे से correlated assets going when they're going away, we call it divergence. जब वो पास आ रहे होते हैं तो उसको हम, और जब वो मिल जाते हैं आपस में, वहां पे हम अपना ट्रेड क्लोज करते हैं, इनिशिएट करते हैं, उसको हम कन्वर्जेंस बोलते हैं. So we'll take an example of Bank Nifty and Nifty. So if you see historically, यहाँ पे this black line is Bank Nifty, right? And the orange line is Nifty. So you see here, there is a very huge divergence created. This is the percentage return on from a common starting day. Okay, from 2022 years till date start. So यहाँ पे अगर वो से हम compare करना शुरू करें as a benchmark reference, this is just for purely as an example to explain what is the divergence and what is the convergence. So you see here, the divergence here is pretty big. And if I get a trade initiated here based upon my rules, and I can hold it for 1 month, it converges here. Meaning I sell Bank Nifty and buy Nifty here. When I sell Bank Nifty and buy Nifty, I'm not very worried what will happen tomorrow. 3% gap up, gap down होगा, वो दोनों एक साथ चलते हैं. Maybe they will tend to drift away for a while, but they will converge. So here they were a good divergence. Here they converge. Again, there was some divergence getting created. They got converged. Again, there was a divergence getting created. See the difference here is very small. They converged. And then June onwards, you see Bank Nifty has been outperforming Nifty. There is a divergence. The pair here continued to drift away. Now here very good divergence got created. This came under our radar. If you put, this is the daily chart. Okay, so on a daily, bank index will give you very rare opportunities once in a year or twice in a year or two. By looking at the history, that will give you a trade opportunity. Stocks, they will give, and if you track a lot of stocks, you will get a lot of opportunities. But if index doesn't give you, because they're not that volatile, okay, they're made up of huge number of stocks with certain weightage. So here the divergence got created, trade was taken, and then a trade was closed. Sorry, let me go back. And then once the divergence started to converge, it has not yet completely converged, but here you see the difference would be very, it is smaller as compared to this. So here your trade will get into good profit. We will see with the examples in the next slide. So right now as well, if you see this, I think I took this screenshot on the share holiday. So there is a divergence, but good enough divergence. Bank Nifty is very highly positive in terms of the annual return versus Nifty. So what can pull down Bank Nifty is something, the banking stocks, either they can cool down and the Nifty IT stocks can continue to perform. They can pull the Nifty up. So as Nifty is made up of mainly the IT counters and the banking counters, right? Mainly 60-something% of it. So either the IT take the Nifty up, or the banking remains flat, IT goes up and meets it, or the Nifty stays flat, but the banking falls and it comes and meets here in the future. So either of these things are going to happen. You just have to check them individually, and then you'll get to know what's happening. If you know a little bit of technical analysis, chart, or some patterns, you will easily able to identify. Okay, now we'll see with an example. So here you see, this is the ratio chart, Bank Nifty divided by Nifty. This is the daily ratio candle, the daily time frame. Okay, so what you see here, the blue line is the mean, which you also see here on 2.2087 now, whatever was that mean on that day. Here you will see this blue line is the mean. So in market, there is a funda called as mean reversion. So whenever things deviate a lot away from the mean, they tend to come back to the mean. Even if you see like India VIX shoots up, but then eventually it comes and meet towards the mean value of it. That's the nature of it. That's how traders identify opportunities, that who short the volatility along the volatility, because they are mean reversion traders. Okay, so here what we see that Nifty, Bank Nifty versus Nifty has been trending up. So once it crosses above our Z-score value of 3, this was our alert candle that you see here, and then now you have to continuously monitor it for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, to see that where now it is showing a sign of weakness. Okay, so here you see there is a shooting star, or you can call it inverted hammer, or whatever name you want to give it. It's a weakness candle where there is a weak or rejection getting formed. So this is another alert for us, but we will not, I'll not say we will directly take and trade here. We cannot never ever find the bottom or the top, right? So we will be alert here. So the moment the low of this candle is broken, a trade will be initiated. Okay, the market has to show a sign that it is now going to tend to reverse to the mean. So here a trade was taken. Stop loss would be above the swing ho. Usually the target is the let's say this is the Z-score value of 3, then here your target will be a Z-score value of 2. But the meaning third deviation से वो second deviation पे जब आएगा हमको अपना close कर देना चाहिए trade उतने में. हालांकि it went more down, gave more profits if someone would have just trailed it, but typically by thumb of rule will say, okay, this is her risk of 1, I'm getting a reward of 3, let's cut it, enough, we'll look for something else. This is some I had some discussion from one of our group members. When I shared this in chat, I think I shared it on 9th September. He had a very basic question: when we say pair trading, which one should we buy, which one we should sell again? So I just explained, sir, that we will short Bank Nifty when it continues to outperform Nifty and comes to a red zone. I put one red zone in the chart. If this happens after 15 September. So, okay. So one thing I forgot to tell. So if it happens after the middle of the month, then when we will trade in the next month future contract. So this happened after. So this happened, I think, after 15th. It happened on 21st or 22nd. September. So that means we will not trade in this month's expiry. We will trade in October expiry. So this is what I told him. And since he was, I thought he might take a trade because he was interested. I told him that, okay, if you want to play it safe as well, you can buy 3% OTM hedges as well. Meaning if you are shorting Bank Nifty को short कर रहे हो, तो उसका एक आप कॉल बाय भी कर सकते हो 3 या 4% अवे का. सिमिलरली हम निफ्टी को लॉन्ग कर रहे हैं तो उसका एक पुट बाय कर सकते हैं 3 or 4% अवे का. Just उससे क्या होगा, profitability might reduce little bit. If I made 20,000 after the trade, he might end up making 16 or 15,000, but his margin requirement would also be less. And since he is doing for the very first time, it is my what will say, it is my humble duty to tell him to play it safe so that he doesn't lose his hard-earned money. So this is one example. Let's see in terms of data how it looked like. So 22nd, this is the yellow line. On the yellow line, we shorted Bank Nifty 1 lot at this price, contract value 10.17 lakh. Long Nifty 1 lot at this price, 17,600 के आसपास. Contract value is 8.8. There is a difference in contract value of 1.36 lakhs. Okay. Now, I will come to this part that if you want to make it even more safer, because there is a difference in the contract that we are shorting is 1.36 lakhs higher than the contract we are going long. Market neutral तो फिर हो नहीं सकता theoretically, right? तो अगर उसको बिल्कुल और मार्केट न्यूट्रल आपको करना है तो 1.36 लाख का निफ्टी 20 भी हमें ऐड करना पड़ेगा साथ में. I did not do it. I am just telling it from a very educational purpose here. that these things you can do it. Another thing is that bank Nifty ka volatility is higher. When I say volatility, the annualized or the historical volatility is higher than the Nifty volatility. So even if you want to neutralize the volatility factor, you can tweak around with the quantities that you take or the number of lots you take so that it doesn't affect. But for today's presentation, we will keep it very simple, plain vanilla, one short, one long. Okay. This is just kept for educational purpose so that members are aware that सब कुछ बताया इसने, nothing is hidden. Margin for this trade is around 2.6 lakh. So this is the yellow line when this trade was initiated for us. This calculation of mean, correlation, z-score, density curve, etc., etc. And then what happened? It came on 27th, met its second deviation, where what happened? We tend to, since we were short on Bank Nifty fell. We made 2231 points. By lot size, we made 55K here. We lost 31K in Nifty. So overall, the trade went into 25 something profit, 25K profit. Overall, if you divide it by the margin that was blocked for, let's say 5 or 10 days, it was around 9%. But let me tell you one thing, I'll not exaggerate these things that my trade had an ROI of something bigger number. When I keep this trade, I keep this run one pair trade with 10 lakhs of margin. So if I'll tell you honestly, this was 2.4% for me. Why I'm keeping 10 lakhs of a margin for a 2.5 lakh of a trade? Because if I have to even take another trade out of this on this, then I need sufficient margin. Although that margin is 2.6, mera 7.5 is some in other strategy, not using right away, but I'll for myself calculate my profit as well as my losses on a 10 lakh margin for one set of pair trade. So I'll not exaggerate that. This is if you someone by plain math, this is 9.5%, but how I personally do it, I keep very buffer margin. I keep, for example, this trade went hit and stop loss. So stop loss would have been, let's say 15,000 for me. Okay, if I'm not going to do averaging at all. So if it went on and hit 15K, so now 15K is hardly 1.5% of my 10 lakh that I've kept for this strategy. The 10 lakh, I'm not using 10 lakh whole, 7.5 is somewhere else using some option, some trading going on. But do not go hard on it, because people, they go crazy when they see some these kind of return. वो 5 lot डाल देंगे, 20 lots भी डाल देते हैं इसमें. But I want to honestly emphasize on this factor a very lot. You will see high returns, you will see ultra crazy things as well, but please respect risk first. Profit will come automatically. Okay, so profits was good.
Mohit, I have a small question. Now on this, you are tracking 3 different parameters. Okay, price ratio, close correlation, then your Z score, the density ratio. Now this is a highly mathematical model, which I have a doubt whether our member will be able to use it. Okay, now can we use only the price ratio? Because price ratio is very easy. Price ratio is very easy from the trading view chart. Trading view chart where we can see the divergence is there or the your convergence is there or not, that we can easily find out from the this price chart. Okay, trading view chart. So can we trade only on the basis of price ratio? What do you feel?
So I'll add one thing. There is, if you search in the trading view library, there is one z-score indicator. Members can see, look at that. Also there is one correlation indicator. वो separate indicators है. तो लोग एक बार लगा के चेक कर ले कि अभी वैल्यू क्या चल रही है बिफोर टेकिंग अ ट्रेड. ऑफ कोर्स प्राइस रेशियो पे ट्रेड करें, बट प्राइस रेशियो के साथ जो बेसिक हाइजीन फैक्टर्स है सारी ट्रेड के, एक बार पहले वो भी चेक करें. सारी कंडीशंस जो हमने आज डिस्कस करी पीछे की एक स्लाइड में, वो एक बार चेक कर लें कि कुछ छूटा तो नहीं, तो उसके बाद ट्रेड कर सकते हैं.
सर वो स्लाइड एक बार और दिखा सकते हैं जो वो फैक्टर्स वगैरह दिया था.
हाँ, ये रहा, ये स्लाइड है. So
I'll just share that PPT. Don't worry, PPT will share. तो वहाँ और दिख लेना अच्छे से आप. ठीक है, या
PPT will be shared and there is one Excel in this which में जिसको mathematically जो लोग check करना चाहते हैं historical data लेके कि मोहित जी जो बोले तो बहुत अच्छा है, काम करता भी है कि नहीं, तो खुद तो जो R&D करते हैं लोग मेरे जैसे, वो बैठ के संडे है एंजॉय कर सकते हैं उनके लिए।
अच्छा, ओके ओके,
ठीक है, तो
कोरिलेशन भी काम चल सकता है, मतलब कोरिलेशन वाले वो डेंसिटी वो जो रेशियो वाला जो है उससे भी काम चल सकता है, मतलब आइडिया तो लगी जाएगा ना।
बिल्कुल
How do you
बिल्कुल
feel?
सर, बिल्कुल
मतलब
आइडिया लगेगा आपको। पहली बात तो कोरिलेशन होना चाहिए। मैं भी आपको एग्जांपल्स दिखाऊंगा सर, मैं सारे रोजी एग्जांपल्स नहीं लाया हूँ कि जिसमें बड़े बड़े प्रॉफिट हो। अभी ऐसे एग्जांपल दिखाऊंगा लास्ट में जिसमें स्टॉप लॉसेस लगे हैं, बिकॉज कोरिलेशन ही अच्छा नहीं था, और वो सेम ही सेक्टर के स्टॉक्स हैं, एकदम सेम ही बिजनेस है उनका भी, जैसे हीरो मोटोकॉर्प और आइशर मोटर्स, ऐसे भी एग्जांपल्स हैं, बट उनका कोरिलेशन तो पहला कंडीशन भी सबसे ऊपर मैंने यही कंडीशन लिख दी, सबसे ऊपर, ये नहीं तो ट्रेड ही नहीं।
ओके ओके,
और इतने सारे स्टॉक हैं, इतने सारे पेयर हैं, कहीं ना कुछ कंडीशन बनती रहती है सर। और आप करेंसी भी देखेंगे, साथ में कमोडिटी भी देख लेंगे थोड़ा बहुत, तो इधर नहीं तो उधर कुछ ना कुछ यू विल बी बिजी। आपका थोड़ा जो फ्री मार्जिन है वो ऑप्शंस के अलावा कहीं और मेक मनी।
ठीक है,
ओके,
ओके,
सो just so this PPT will be shared to the sir who had that wanted to see this again. This is one example. We'll see another example. So this is in the public sector space. You see PFC and REC. There was a convergence here that there was very good divergence getting created in early September. It came under radar. So this is what you see is PFC, which is of 105 rupees at that point of time. Just दिन मैंने screenshot लिया, it was 105. REC was 94. So the higher value is the numerator, the lower value is the denominator. Okay, you see the correlation here is 90%. So here you see it has went and gone below -3 z-score, meaning वो अपने mean, ये blue line जो mean है उससे 3 deviations अलग है. So now it is my alert candle. I'll not trade here, 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 because no candle has broken the high of the previous candle. There is no strength. इस कैंडल में भी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है, इसमें 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 भी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है ऑन क्लोजिंग बेसिस। ओके, इसमें भी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है, इसमें भी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है, यहाँ एक हैमर कैंडल बना तो यहाँ मैं सुपर एक्टिव हो जाऊंगा on a close basis. So next day what happened, it एकदम ये कैंडल बनते ही मैं नहीं, यहाँ पे सर हेज फंड्स के बहुत सारे एल्गोज हैं जो यहाँ पे ट्रेड इनिशिएट किए होंगे। सो यहाँ पे हमारी एंट्री हो गई और स्टॉप लॉस स्विंग लो के नीचे रहेगा। तो ये हमारा यहाँ टारगेट रहेगा। ये टारगेट भी ऐसे ऐसे चलता है साथ में, जैसे जैसे ये हमारा सेकंड डिवीजन मूव होता रहता है विद टाइम। You will see a lot of activities happening there, people coming out, going in out. So eventually it has went and got ऊपर भी चला गया जिसने होल्ड किया, बट यहाँ पे we had to exit, we exited, टारगेट आ गया। इसमें ज्यादा अच्छा रिस्क रिवॉर्ड नहीं था, -1 का था, but it worked fine. We'll see with the data as well. So the yellow line on 9th of September is when that this trigger happened, the trade entry, and the green line is when the exit came. Total margin was around 3.5 lakh. एक short, एक long. So this is PFC 108 पे contract value इतना short. REC contract is 118 पे we had one long. Different in contract value is 1 lakh rupees. So on 30th September, we lost 13 points in PFC. We made 13 points in REC. REC का lot size बड़ा है, 8200 का है, if I am not wrong. इसमें टोटल वी मेड अराउंड 18-19 के। तो मार्जिन अगर आप सिर्फ मार्जिन पे देखेंगे तो इट इज 5.4%, बट अगर आप 10 lakhs पे देखेंगे तो इट इज हार्डली नियर टू 2% return. Okay, very safe play. And now the beauty of this is, if you see both, one second, both from when it was highly diverged, came under a radar. यहाँ पे जब हमने ट्रेड क्लोज किया, the divergence reduced, we came out, both the stocks has fallen, right? वो 118 वाला भी 105 हो गया और वो 106 वाला भी 94 हो गया। तो sometimes what I do is, if I like this PFC REC pays good dividend, right? I don't mind doing a cash secured put, very good stocks. So I'll do a 85 का cash secured put. ऐसे 6, 7, 8% जहाँ पे भी अच्छा margin I'm getting. So when you see you have made money of one trade, you will, and market, if say, let's say one stock has moved up, another stock moved down. So sometimes you will, even if your stop loss got hit, you will sometimes get a opportunity to do a CSP or any spread kind of a trade that comes with experience. Yahan pe once you start doing pair trading, you'll automatically other mind will open, the option mind of yourself will open कि इसमें मैं ये भी तो कर सकता हूँ. There are various things possible, but today kept very simple, like 1:1, one short one long only explain कर रहा हूँ मैं. So just think from other aspects as well कि जूस कैसे और निकाला जा सकता है. So this is PFC REC. We'll move to the next example. This is of currency. I think we discussed in group as well. So I was the one who was making very hoo-halla in the group that GBP is falling. So when there is hoo-halla, there is some, I think some finance minister made some policy announcement in UK, GBP crashed. एक दिन तो उसका trading भी रुक गया था early morning. So when there is hoo-halla, then वहाँ पे है तो super active हो जाते हैं paid traders हमारे जैसे और सारे algos भी, क्योंकि उनके models ही इन abnormalities को catch करने के लिए बने हैं. This is not that I am telling, this is I'm telling after speaking to many traders who sits on the desk and are close to me. So this is one example where this went down below. Alert, this was the alert candle. We wait, high note broken, hammer candle or morning star, whatever you want to call it. यहाँ पे इसका high was broken. Okay, so this was our entry, and यहाँ पे इसके नीचे ये वाला स्टॉप लॉस वैसे स्विंग लो ये वाला है, बट ये बहुत डीप हो जाता है. तो और करेंसी कैन गिव यू गुड रिटर्न, करेंसी कैन कट यू रियल बैड एज वेल. एकदम तेज चाकू जैसा है ये. तो दिस वाज आवर स्टॉप लॉस. सो currency margin also is very low. That is why I say it can cut you and kill you hard as well, give you real money as well. So 10 lots short, 10 long in GBP, because GBP is 90 something, euro is 80 something, numerator should be greater than the denominator. So correlation is 92%. This is daily closing prices. 60k का margin लगता है 10 lots के trade में. And what happened, it यहाँ पे second deviation touch किया उस दिन, it went on to hit 30k something. This is what we had also shared in the group. It went on to hit around 30k. So very safe way to do in currency as well. But 60k पे 30k I'll tell, वो कहेंगे 50% return बन गया, but this is on 10 lakhs of capital I have kept for paid trading, not on 60k. 60k तो margin block हुआ है. I can even take another 10 lots when it goes down, because I have that buffer capital with me. So people with capital, use your capital judiciously. Capital free है तो safe option strategy. OTM जाके भेज दो, कहीं पे भी बैठे रहो, weekly expiry में पैसा मिल जाता है आराम से. So this is another example. So the idea was to just to use your margin very judiciously. And this is, now we'll talk about the gold, the recent one, gold and silver example. Margin was blocked around 1.4 lakh. Okay, in this one, the good thing to discuss is we were short 2 lots in silver and 1 in gold. Let me bring that up. So silver M 2 short, 1 gold M long. So why 2 silver is because if you check the Zerodha ka brokerage wala, there is a page, you will see for every 1 rupee movement of silver, you make 5 rupees or lose 5 rupees. But when you see on gold, the 1 rupee movement will give you 10 rupee or you will lose 10 rupees. So to make that equal, अगर 1% दोनों move करता है, तो I have to make things equal for my trade to work out equally. So we had, क्योंकि वो 5 रुपए मूव करता है ऊपर और नीचे सिल्वर, तो उसके 2 lots थे and gold का 1 lot था. Correlation is again good. Same it went. This was the alert candle where it was above Z score. It broke the low of this candle. This was the entry candle. Stop loss was here. It went on to hit the second. उसके बाद और भी नीचे गया वो, but next day यहाँ पे we had actually this is the hourly chart. I forgot to tell. This is the hourly chart, but the next day the trade went on to hit the target. So it just sometimes as I said, कभी-कभी 15 दिन भी लग जाते हैं, 20 दिन भी लगते हैं, कभी-कभी next day भी trade का target hit हो जाता है, because this is not just me doing it. There are many people looking at these things, doing this such kind of trades. So the next day the target was hit. It's not clearly visible. It's worth around 15K. This is something stock in pharma area, Alchem Labs and Aurobindo.
Again, on the previous slide, all these stats that we are looking at, this is all corresponding to the time frame of the chart, right? So hourly bole to hourly correlation, hourly mean, is it right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Hourly. So index may you will not get very large number of opportunities in daily. In currency as well, you will not get good number of opportunities in daily. So you'll have to look at 2 hours or 1 hour, go down to look find opportunities. Okay, so that's how to look at it as well. Different time frames. This is this is something I had to share, but I was late to share. It was something here where I saw this already. The trade had missed out. So this pair is this is on Monday. Sell Alchem and buy Aurobindo Pharma, but it had already cooled off. So I thought it's not good enough for someone to take it. But this insight that I'll be sharing something on pharma area. This was the one. It was still a positional one. This thing, if someone mistakenly took it here as well, he would still be in profit, still going down. It's going toward its mean. So now we've looked at multiple examples where it worked. So everything is not rosy. You can have a look here. This is an example of Eicher Motors and Hero Motocorp, similar kind of business, same kind of sector. The correlation is not good. It's 67.5%. You'll see this is the alert candle, right? The low was the candle was broken here. Although it just touched the second deviation, but not great risk reward. Someone would have taken it. यहीं पे stop loss हो जाता, फिर condition बनती, फिर stop loss हो जाता. So ऐसे trades avoid करनी है where the correlation itself is not good. Although they do the same kind of business, have same kind of price structure as well, or like converger divergence, all the theory that we learned is same, but still will not go ahead if the first condition is not met. Another example is Bajaj Finance, Muthoot Finance. Here itself, the this was alert candle. This was the swing high, was the stop loss candle. There is this. There was some news. The stop loss got hit. Even if we want to re-enter or do averaging here, again the stop loss was hit. The reason being the correlation is low, 56 something percent is the correlation. But Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv, they have a super good correlation. LTTS and LTI, they have very good, with same company, right? Same group. वहाँ पे मिलते हैं opportunities. HDFC Bank. So which are इनमें बहुत rare बनती हैं opportunities, but बनती हैं तो it's like free money there. So with this, I think I'll just have, this is the last slide I have for today, when to avoid pair trading when there is a quarterly result of one of the stock very near, the other one has a very far away result date announced, planned. There is any AGM, any stock split, any dividend issue, bonus issues that is planned that you can already check, any upcoming macro data that may influence the currency market movement. You upcoming में वाले में नहीं करना, आप हो जाए abnormality create हो जाए तब जरूर करना है. Okay, so this is to when to avoid, but when to do it also you should know. So this is you should keep in mind to check. इसमें जाके investing.com में जाके earnings calendars and जो हमारे times हैं इंडिया के और US के जितने भी हमारी data points आने वाले वो एक बार आप जाके check कर सकते हैं. So better to avoid in stock which are below 100 rupees. For example, IDFC, अभी trade बना हुआ है इसमें IDFC First Bank and PNB में, but avoid this, right? This is yesterday I took this screenshot. It is above three deviation. short IDFC and long PNB. But these are volatile. I don't know if people know this. Sometimes these things get manipulated easily. So even I was talking to some sir, he was saying avoid. It doesn't look at stocks below 100 rupees. So avoid this. Good if you want to remain invested. But these are 4 or 5 things you need to avoid. This was the last slide I had. If you have any questions, you can please.
Acha, Mohit, I have a question. I want to mix your strategy with the Som strategy. Okay. अभी सोम जी ने ये बताया था कि 320 पे आप डाउ देखिए, ठीक है? आप थे ना उस समय when you were talking?
Yeah, sir.
हाँ, तो 320 पे डाउ को देखिए. If the Dow is plus, if the Dow is showing plus, that means कि you buy a future and buy a ATM put. And if the Dow is down, you sell the future and buy a call. Now, can we mix this both, Nifty theory or Bank Nifty theory with the Dow and come to a similar conclusion, something like that? Can you mix both the things?
No, sir. डाइवर्जेंस है. डाइवर्जेंस वो दिन आज नहीं है, वो रोज क्रिएट हो रहा है सर, रोज बड़ा हो रहा है. वी विल ओनली एज पर आवर रूल्स वी विल ओनली डू इट first if the correlation is good, second if the divergence is huge enough for us, and then there is a strength or a weakness. अगर ऊपर से है तो weakness दिख रहा है और नीचे से है तो strength दिख रहा है, तब करना है. वो उनका थोड़ा सा सेपरेट है, वो डेली के बेसिस पे कर रहे हैं ऑन तो वो डेली ऐसा से दिस इज वन ऑफ इवेंट एंड दैट इज अ डेली इवेंट, तो उनको मिक्स ना करे तो बेटर रहेगा. बाकी सोम सर सुपर
नहीं, अब जैसे आप बता रहे हैं, अब 320 पे अपन ने देख लिया, मान लो जैसे उनकी थ्योरी के हिसाब से फ्यूचर बाई करना है और अपने को पुट बाई करना है. दिस इज वन थ्योरी अवेलेबल. नाउ वी आल्सो सी एज पर योर थ्योरी कि 320 के आसपास में इन दोनों का क्या रिलेशन चल रहा है, निफ्टी का और मान लीजिए इसका. और अगर दोनों मेरे को अगर आपको जो पॉजिटिव कोरिलेशन दिखा रहे हैं तो देन आई कैन टेक द एंटर सेफली ना, तो मुझे उसमें लॉस नहीं होगा. कैन वी डू समथिंग लाइक दैट? नहीं,
I haven't checked it, but the only thing is अगर there is very huge divergence that has happened, तब आप कर सकते हैं, आप काफी सेफ रहेंगे रिलेटिवली. बट वो जो उनका ट्रेड है वो तो हर रोज कर रहे हैं एंड एवरी डे कर रहे हैं. एवरी डे हमारा सिचुएशन जी सर ये वाला चार्ट है, पूरे 3 महीने में आप करेंगे तो आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा कि किस दिन बनेगा किस दिन जाएगा. बट हम कुछ कंडीशंस के बेसिस पे फिल्टर करके कर रहे हैं. तो अगर आपका यहाँ इन जोन्स में करेंगे तो आप प्रॉफिटेबल शायद फिर भी हो जाएंगे. बट हर दिन के लिए आप थोड़ा कहना मुश्किल है कि कैसा बिहेवियर होगा. वो डेटा के साथ चेक करके वी कैन come to conclusion.
Okay. Acha, Mohit, we have one more person, Mr. Ramesh. I don't know whether you heard his last week presentation. Last week presentation. He also has some strategies on the pair trading. Should we ask him to give it? Should I ask him to give a 10-minute presentation and then we can ask the question answer? Is it okay with you?
Yeah, definitely. I'll stop sharing.
Okay, so Ramesh, you can take and then you can share your study on the pair trading, and then we'll take the question answers. Okay. तो आपका किधर है रमेश? I have to give the right now first. Where is what is your name? Trading ideas. Okay. So I am giving you the co-host, right? You share your thing for 10 minutes and then jointly we'll have a discussion how to go about it, because this is a very new subject and this is a very, I will say you two are doing on this thing very, very seriously. Nobody else is doing. So let us have both the idea and then we'll discuss further. Okay. So you start. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Everybody, good afternoon.
He is Mr. Ramesh. He is from Andhra and he's a great, I will say, mathematician also. So he will share it. Yeah, Boli Ramesh. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Everybody. Just Mohit sir, presentation. Very nice. Very good. Similar presentation. I am working on pair trading also. Same Z score, Z score, correlation, and standard deviation. So first of all, I will show the past performance of some stocks, and then I will enter to how to price ratio will appear in trading view, and when to first pair buy, second pair sell. Okay. So for example, in ACC Ultratech Cement, On 28th September, it has come into our criteria, price ratio criteria. So that time ACC paid sell, second Ultratech cement buy. So that time 28th September opening price, I have taken spot prices instead of future. Okay, maybe profit and loss may be equally. Okay, so ACC 2674 500 lot. So total closing price I have closed actually right now ACC running 23 and closing last trading session. So I have exited 4th October on basis of Z score me to mean. Okay, so 2674 current market price 23. Still, if it is holding 83,275 profit running, but the trade exit 1,20,000. And second, Jindal Steel Tata Steel, I am running in my live account right now 10,600. Just to 3-4 days before, it is 30,000 profit also. And in fee, Wipro also running trade. Agency Prudential and HDFC Life 28 executed, right now 22,000 profit. In fee, take Mahindra some losses. ICICI Bank Axis 28,360. Lupin and Divisional 40,000. IOC Wipro are not recommended this pair actually. So and Nifty Bank Nifty 28th September closed at 30th September, just 10 days, 28,000 profit. M&M Maruti 53,000 profit. And Excel Amarana. So I will explain each and every stock how to read and Ultratech statement also very good profit. Okay. So first of all, same ratio chart will add to in trading view free version. For example, if you take ACC and Ultratech statement. So simple, sir. We enter higher time frame means daily and weekly it is better. So when the price is ratio at higher level, so means for example, if we analyze a stock, we draw the support and resistance lines, correct? So like same ACC divided by Ultratech cement, then we can get the price ratio. Okay, so first stock divided by second stock. So in previous history, at April 19, the stock price ratio is 0.40. Okay, then the 0.40 will come. Then the ratio is depreciated. Okay. Same this one happens on 20th September. Okay, so this time first stock is outer compared to Ultratech cement. So we start the ACC by the Ultratech cement. Okay, when the ratio is compared to previous historical data, so this one also went 0.40, then come down. This one also here also 18th October one opportunity, 19th April one opportunity, and here also one opportunity in June 22nd. So latest opportunity 20th September. So I have closed that pair. Yes, exited with 4th October. Okay, so I have some prepared. So first of all, we find out the correlations first. If it is greater than 65-70 correlation, it is better to enter pair trading. So in case of our ACC and Ultratech cement. Okay. So Ultratech cement. So the total correlation is 48 and previous 1 year data history. But I have found good opportunity. But we enter at least 60-65 correlation is better. So I have added, so first before, after finding this ratio in stock, so first we, 1 minute. So first of all, we find out the ratio, testing the previous resistance and support. Then second one is Z score, and third one is 60 days and 30 days correlation also. So if it is correlation 60, 40 days also, 60 days and 1 month correlation, it is continue, then go to the good page. So in 60 days, maybe in Excel sheet, Google sheet, something showing wrong, maybe some calculation is wrong. So we can direct one indicator also Z score. Yeah. So enter this area. So previously Z score highest is 2.72 in ACC Autotech pair. So in 28th September, in 28th or 14th September, it is reached to 3.67. So I entered this 28th September. So 28th September, that is price ratio is Z score is 2.46. So when to close the pair means, why I should close the 4th October means, if we take 0 level, 0 point exactly. So when the Z score touches the mean, that time we close the profit. So here is one opportunity, ACC buy and Autotech cement sell. So it is from mean to Z score deviation is minus 2.86. So previously also it is minus 2.3 and minus 2.0. So this level means July 22nd, Z score is deviated to too far from mean. So that is minus in this scenario. So that is also similar in price ratio will also this area. So from 22nd to 5th August, maybe some minimum loss. So don't worry. So in this pair ratio concept, if any point of any losses will occur, rollovers, definitely good money. So there is no stop loss. So if you have sufficient money, if you have patience, so many opportunities in there. Like in Bank Nifty also, one appear in so on Nifty Bank Nifty 20th September. So here is Z score on 20th September. So previously this is the so again second opportunity, any in further in future, if touches this level, buy the Bank Nifty, short the buy the Nifty, sell the short Bank Nifty. So on 20th September, this condition was fulfilled. So that time 41,207 in price of spot of Bank Nifty, 17,770 at 20th September, closed on 38th, roughly 10 days, 28,000 profit. So this is the simplest way. So I'm trading. My observation is bank HDFC Bank, HDFC pair, HDFC Bank, and correlate with ICICI Bank. I short ICICI Bank, short ICICI, HDFC Bank by same ratio by, but this pair giving losses still. Why? Because after the HDFC twins merger news, HDFC and HDFC Bank moved slowly compared to other Nifty assets, bank Nifty assets. So this is major. I have observed HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank is very correlation above greater than 80%. But HDFC, unfortunately, HDFC Bank did not move due to the major merger issue. And second one also, I have JSW Steel and Tata Steel also rollover still continue. In after Tata Steel, uh, 103 price, no, before that split. After splitting, Tata Steel is very slow to compare to JSW. So when we entered the paid rate, this news will also take his decisions.
So your both the systems are almost similar. What
No, no,
Mohit ji has
no, no.
explained and what you are explaining, both are same, na? Z score and then convergence, everything is the same. Correct?
No, sir. Here, Mohit's Z score is different. I am explaining Z score is different. Actually, Mohit explained this concept. It is from in zero level setting. He explained the density curve. So density curve and so in case of Mohit's Z score, it is maximum 1 to -1, -1 to +1. Correct, na, Mohit sir?
Okay.
No, that score, my condition is greater than 3 or less than 3.
Acha, you calculated and standard deviation 3, yes?
You both are mathematician here. We are getting lost.
Oh, so my in case of my Z score is some
Okay.
different concept. Okay.
ठीक है, concept is similar, but we have to practice it now. Correct?
Yes.
Sir,
yes.
Z score is same. It's just that RSI आप लगाते हो. कोई 9 पे यूज
Hmm.
करता है, कोई 14 पे.
Yes, yes.
बस उतना फर्क है. जो ये बोल रहे हो, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, उतना फर्क है.
हाँ.
और ये बहुत ही बेसिक टेक्निक है. इसके बाद लीनियर रिग्रेशन मॉडल्स हैं, ऑगमेंटेड डिकी फुलर टेस्ट है, जो पूरा स्टैटिस्टिक्स बेस्ड है. वो इससे ज्यादा एडवांस और एक्यूरेट है. बट वो अभी मैं समझाऊंगा, बिना एबीसीडी समझाए तो सही नहीं रहेगा.
Yeah. Good. So members, any questions on this now? Any doubt, any questions from Ramesh or from Mohit ji, anything?
I have one question from Mohit's slide, REC and PFC. Sorry, I joined late. If you have already answered that earlier, then you can tell that I'll go and watch the video.
No, go ahead,
Mohit
sir,
ji,
please.
So if you can bring up your REC PFC slide.
Okay. Ramesh ji, can I share my screen?
Yeah. Sure.
आप लोग बंद कीजिए, रमेश जी, you to close.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The other one where you have shown the chart. Yes. This one, previous one.
This one?
No. Previous.
The divergence one?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, yeah, this one. So basically, we are taking trade at when there is the maximum divergence.
Correct, sir. So whenever there is a maximum divergence, your z-score would be somewhere very higher, or less than -3 or 2.8, 2.9, or greater than 2.8, 2.9. So there is a very huge divergence. Whenever it is like converging, it is close to zero, kind of.
Right.
It's near the mean.
So my question is, because see, for example, if we are on, say, this 12th, that is on the x-axis, this September is there and the 12th is there. So if you go little left, yeah. Yes, at this place. So at this point in time, we do not know the future chart. We do not have it. And exactly the place where you have mouse, the divergence looks very good compared to the previous divergence we have on this particular chart. So what is the trigger, or what do you exactly check that okay, this is the point where I am going to take the trade?
Yes, sir. Yeah, very good question. So, for example, at this point, neither your density curve or z-score would be under the criteria, the condition filtration conditions with a trade would be activated. For us, 2 seconds के लिए I'll go to the move next one.
Yes.
For example, it was here. Let me see, what was it? It was mid August or end August. Okay, this
Yes,
divergence.
almost, yeah, end of it, yeah.
Now let's see here. It was somewhere here, or somewhere here.
Yes, yes.
So here our z-score would be somewhere around 2.8, 2.7, 2 point something. But
Okay.
my alert condition is as per the rules I mentioned in the condition slide. This would be my alert candle, not this, not this, not here. यहाँ पे भी it is diverging. I know it is diverging for a matter of fact, but we it's like शिकार करने के लिए जंगल में बैठ के we are just looking at the शिकार to jump at the very apt moment where
Absolutely.
our risk to reward is very favorable in ASQ. Otherwise क्या होगा सर, वो रोल ओवर करना पड़ेगा आपको, वो
Yes,
कन्वर्ज हो जाएगा, आप गलत जगह एंट्री लेंगे, उसको लेकर के बैठे रहेंगे तो सही नहीं है. So
correct.
let it come under our alert conditions. It is still not working out. Only once it is start to show strength, at least यहाँ पे देखिए एक हैमर कैंडल बना और
Right.
प्रीवियस किसी भी कैंडल ने उसका हाई क्रॉस नहीं किया है, इतना तो डे एंड पे देख ही सकते हैं ना सर. तो
Absolutely.
जब इसने यहाँ ये वाला हाई ऊपर क्लोज हुआ है हैमर कैंडल के ऊपर, आप यहाँ पे एंट्री लीजिए, आपका रिस्क और अपना रिवॉर्ड चेक करिए, फेवरेबल बनता है तो ट्रेड लीजिए. वो आपका डाइवर्जेंस पहले भी दिखाएगा, बट आपको एकदम जब पूरा टाइट हो जाए, जहाँ पे देयर इज वेरी हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी. व्हाट इज डेंसिटी कर्व? डेंसिटी कर्व आपको ये बताएगा कि प्रीवियस हिस्टोरिकल रीडिंग्स के हिसाब से अभी की करंट रीडिंग कहती है कि नाउ देयर इज 99% ऑफ द चांस फॉर द रेशियो टू गो बैक टूवर्ड्स इट्स मीन. यहाँ पे वो प्रोबेबली 95% होगी, प्रोबेबली या 98 या 99, एंड इट टेंड्स टू, इसके नीचे भी जाता है तो इट विल टेंड टू गेट लिटिल मोर towards the 100%, not always 100%, क्योंकि previous historical values data में से निकलती जाती है
Right, right.
as new
You're right.
candles.
Yes, yes.
So we have to wait for the right opportunity. यहाँ पे entry नहीं करनी है. There are people who will take यहाँ पे भी, फिर वो यहाँ पे roll over करेंगे, फिर यहाँ पे जाके उनको profit मिलेगा 1 महीना वेट करने के बाद.
Right, right.
तो करने वाले करते हैं सर. वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए तो कोई इशू नहीं है सर, एक बार डालते हैं और छोड़ देते हैं, अगले महीने देख लेते हैं.
Correct, correct. Perfect. Thank you very much, Mohit. Thanks for answering that. I mean, when you were at this particular side, I joined then only, but I'll go back and watch the full video. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Thanks for
राकेश जी टाइम पे ज्वाइन कीजिए, संडे ही तो है आज.
sorry, sir.
अच्छा राकेश जी थे ये.
Yes.
अच्छा.
आप तो
राकेश जी,
मेन पिलर है यार. अरे आप तो इसके ऊपर वो एल्गो भी बनाने वाले थे ना, पे ट्रेड पे. वो हो गया आपका, वो तो रेडी है ना आपका तो.
Yes, sir. I'm doing that, but I mean, I didn't knew about that. This is called pair trading. So I had my own concept between IDFC First Bank and IDFC. So I had this price observation and the price difference, and based on that, I did that algo, and I'm running from last 2-3 months, and it is giving very good results. But then after Ramesh ji and Mohit ji, they showed me that this is called pair trading. So I thought that I have invented something new, and then I came to know, no, it is already there. I mean, I don't know anything about this Z score and density curve, etc., which I'll learn.
Only statistical things, sir. Simple math के formula है और कुछ नहीं.
Yes.
You must watch this video from the start. The way Mohit ji has explained it is amazing.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Yeah.
चलिए.
So this is very I just want to say this is very basic thing, but the issue is you have to if you don't have any sheet like what Ramesh ji have, your own personal thing to track, क्योंकि बहुत सारे पेज हैं, आप इंडिविजुअली सबको ट्रैक नहीं कर सकते. कंडीशंस अगर आप सब पेयर्स पे लगाएंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली पेयर्स विल कम टू यू रादर देन यू गो एंड सर्चिंग फॉर पेयर्स. So थोड़ा
Yes,
बहुत
yes, yes.
नहीं आपका अलर्ट कैंडल कैसे पता चलेगा? हाउ टू फाइंड आउट द अलर्ट कैंडल?
सर मेरे पास 500 पेयर्स का लिस्ट है, सो उनमें क्या है कि वो डेटाबेस है, डेटाबेस पे पिवट टेबल बना लो जिसपे भी 3 से ऊपर जी स्कोर है, वो सारे मेरे अलर्ट में हैं। उनको मैं अपनी वॉच लिस्ट में, जैसे रमेश जी ने ट्रेडिंग, उसको वॉच लिस्ट में मैं डाल लेता हूँ और फिर उसको डे एंड पे देख लेता हूँ।
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. In fact, sir, I'll go through this video and I'll see if I can, for everyone's benefit, if I can code something so that we all can get automated alerts like that.
जी जी
राइट। अच्छा तो अलर्ट कैंडल आपका वो एक्सेल शीट से आ रहा है, एक्सेल शीट से आप वो अलर्ट ले रहे हैं, देन यू आर चेकिंग इट हियर, करेक्ट?
जी जी सर, मेरा गूगल शीट पे देयर इज होल कोड रिटर्न, वो मेरे को जीमेल पे अलर्ट भेज देता है कि इसमें बन गया है, और वो मेरे मोबाइल पे जीमेल का नोटिफिकेशन आ जाता है, तो मैं ऐसे देख लेता हूँ क्योंकि आई एम वर्किंग इन ऑफिस, तो 2 मिनट के लिए कुछ अलर्ट चाहिए मेरे को लाइफ में काम करने के लिए।
अच्छा, ओके।
If the time permits and after I have understood all this, I would like to connect with you regarding the same. I mean, so not only just getting alerts on the mobile, but if we define any particular condition, then even we can take the trades as well. So I would like to connect with you on that once I have understood the concept.
You want to share that thing? You want to share that thing, Rakesh, right now, or you want to say on maybe the next webinar?
No, sir, mine is very naive. I mean, and I think already it is 1:45, so maybe some other time.
Okay.
And I'll get more understanding of what Mohit ji and Ramesh ji has explained.
Yeah.
सर ये जैसे अभी आवरली टाइम फ्रेम पे है, दिस लेफ्ट इज गोल्ड सिल्वर, राइट इज क्रूड एंड नेचुरल गैस, तो ऐसे अगर कुछ स्कोर्स के बेसिस पे ऑटोमेशन करके आई जस्ट ट्राई टू ब्रिंग अलर्ट टू माई सेल्फ फ्रॉम गूगल वेब सर्विसेज टू जीमेल, सो ऐसे हैव टू ट्रैक, सो दिस इज वन वे, बट this is because in commodities I only take crude and natural gas and gold and silver, बाकी वो कॉपर वॉपर में नहीं हाथ डालता हूँ मैं, बट स्टॉक्स में तो बहुत सारे पेयर्स है सर, एज रमेश जी जस्ट शोड, वहाँ पे डिफरेंट ऐसा शीट है।
But हम लोग कैसे करेंगे ये लोग? हम लोग ये कैसे करेंगे? We don't know all this code and all these things, then how we will do it, all those things? You are getting alert, but how we will get the alert?
सर आपके लिए मैं अलर्ट हूँ और बाकी
our group is alert, huh?
Sir, don't worry, sir, don't worry. Give us some time. In collaboration with Mohit ji and Ramesh ji, we'll do something for the entire group.
Sir, if anybody use NMDC के लिए कुछ क्या बताइए मेरे को?
NMDC के लिए
NMDC NTPC ये भी पेयर में कर सकते हैं क्या? क्योंकि मैंने मार्क किया है, NTPC गिरता है तो NMDC बढ़ता है, NMDC गिरता है तो NTPC बढ़ता है।
Okay, sir. Sir, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Sir, if anybody using Office 365, it will only automatically refresh just 5 seconds. How to? I will show the tricks, sir.
क्या? What we have to see?
Historical data.
Historical data, okay.
Office 365, it is one automatic tool, sir.
Office 65.
Yeah.
365.
मीनिंग सर एक्सेल में वो फंक्शंस हैं, वो ऑटोमेटिकली हिस्टोरिकल डेटा पुल कर लेते हैं सर्वर से।
Yes.
अच्छा। That is only Office 365, हाँ? Okay.
Yes, Office 365.
तो कैसे करेंगे थोड़ा बताइए थोड़ा. You have the data right now? Yeah,
yes,
just show.
Sir, the XNSE stock name. I have put XNSE JSW string example. In second, XNSE Tata Steel, and C is the from, D is the to date, from to date. It's simple. Stock history A1, C1, D1. It will automatically come. For example, NMDC and another stock is sir. Another stock is sir NMDC and
NTPC.
NTPC
ना?
हाँ NTPC.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Just automatically the minus correlation actually minus 24%.
इसमें बिल्कुल नहीं करना है सर इसमें।
Yeah, it is
हाँ,
not
से लग
supposed
जाएंगे।
to be
जो एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे उसी से समझ में आ रहा था, क्योंकि एक बढ़ता है तो दूसरा गिरता है, सो देन दे आर नेगेटिवली कोरिलेटेड।
Yes.
Correct.
So don't do that pair trading.
अरे बट ये फंक्शन हमें पता ही नहीं था यार जो तुम बता रहे हो, ये तो मैं पहली बार देख रहा हूँ मैं।
Already in
ऑफिस
this,
365 हाँ, दिस सो
Yes.
इजी ना। ऑफिस
Easy,
365 में
sir.
तो कोई भी डेटा
Yeah.
डाल दो, आईडीएफसी और
sir.
आईडीएफसी बैंक का डाल दो, तुरंत आ जाएगा। आप डालो आईडीएफसी एंड आईडीएफसी बैंक, जस्ट पुट आईडीएफसी एंड आईडीएफसी बैंक।
Okay, IDFC.
राकेश आप देख रहे हो?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
IDFC,
Yes,
sir.
sir, I'm-
IDFC bank. IDFC.
IDFC
BK,
FIRSTB.
BK.
No,
No,
Okay.
IDFC first.
IDFC
No,
first
IDFC
B.
हाँ,
So
IDFC
IDFC?
फर्स्ट,
IDFC FB,
फर्स्ट
FIRSTB.
FIRB, FIRB.
No, FIRSTB.
IDFC,
FIRSTB.
and then B. Then B, yes.
T.
No, T.
T
T
and
for
B.
T for
Tamil Nadu.
Bombay.
Yeah, B now. Yeah, enter.
Now.
BK. Acha.
No, not K. K is not there.
Without
Take
K.
off K.
No,
No.
T. No.
Yeah, only B.
Only
Yeah,
B, only
enter now.
Yes.
Correct. So now what is the ratio?
64% correlation.
Sir, this is good if you want historical data, but there are already indicators by people published in TradingView library,
Yes.
जिसमें आपको
अच्छा।
correlation, z-score, mean ये सब मिल जाएगा। तो मतलब this is good if you want to do jugglery on Excel, तो ये you can
Okay.
use this। मतलब copy paste करके कुछ नया मॉडल बनाना है। यहाँ पे आपको पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी में सर्च करके एक बार दिखा दीजिए रमेश जी, if you can search यहाँ पे correlation और
Indicator.
Symbol. Indicator.
टाइम
Go to
नहीं भाई,
indicator.
वो तारो कोई काम नहीं कर रहा हूँ, हमारा काम करते।
correlation coefficient, add a symbol, you have a ratio right
अरे
now,
अगर कोई टाइम नहीं था,
अरे यार
just put bank nifty, Ramesh ji, your chart right now is a ratio chart, so you'll have to
Yes.
change
Sure.
that. So now you can see the correlation of Nifty with Bank Nifty कैसा चल रहा है। 0.93 मतलब 93%।
So it is a good opportunity, and the correlation is negative.
आपने क्या किया, ये निफ्टी और बैंक निफ्टी दो को जोड़ा इसके अंदर?
कोरिलेशन में इट आस्क फॉर इनपुट कि आपको निफ्टी का कोरिलेशन किसके साथ देखना है, तो उन्होंने बैंक निफ्टी डाला तो इट शोज कोरिलेशन यहाँ पे। सिमिलरली ऐसे जी स्कोर भी डालेंगे तो जी स्कोर के साथ में इनपुट्स के साथ में आपको जी स्कोर बता देता है।
तो इसमें एक्चुअली फिर कोरिलेशन इतना डाउन कैसे चले गया ऑन निफ्टी बैंक निफ्टी ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर डे, लाइक जुलाई में?
वो डिपेंड करता है उन्होंने इनपुट कितना पीरियड का दिया हुआ है, वो उतना डेटा चेक कर रहा होगा। ऐसे कुछ 200 कर दीजिए या 250 कर दीजिए एक बार ही, ऐसा कुछ just change, ऐसी कुछ एनुअल रीडिंग के लिए। नाउ यू कैन सी इट विल बी वेरी स्मूथ। तो एनुअल
और डाउ का एक बार कोरिलेशन चेक करके देखिए ना,
डाउ एंड निफ्टी का।
हाँ, इफ पॉसिबल, मतलब अपन जो बात कर रहे हैं ट्रेडिंग वाली।
अभी तो इट हैज डिविएटेड, जो अविनाश जी कह रहे थे, so it is not showing good correlation right now, but historically if you just zoom out, historically they are correlated markets.
डाउ कंपनी देखना है या इंडेक्स देखना है? डाउ जोन्स,
डाउ इंडेक्स यार, कंपनी का है।
हाँ, तो इसमें शायद कंपनी सेलेक्ट किया था ना उन्होंने।
डाउ जोन्स,
डाउ इंक सेलेक्ट किया ना।
इंडेक्स लो, इंडेक्स
यूएस 30 डाल दीजिए, फ्यूचर डाल दीजिए।
हाँ, डीजेआई यस,
या डीजेआई डाल दीजिए, यूएस 30 कुछ भी डाल दीजिए।
हाँ
So you see they are getting diverged away, so उससे historical readings जैसे जैसे new divergence की हो रही है, the correlation is going down.
एक्चुअली मैंने उसका एक वीडियो भी देखा था, रे डालियो का एक वीडियो देखा था अबाउट द चेंजिंग वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर।
Yeah,
It's like a 250-year cycle, you know, where the power shifts. That is a different thing altogether. So,
yeah.
तो
I
ये
also very interesting.
yeah.
बट ये हिसाब से तो दोनों में कुछ है ही नहीं है, ये कन्वर्जेंस और डाइवर्जेंस कुछ भी नहीं है, दोनों अपोजिट है, दोनों कुछ नेगेटिव है तो है।
नहीं, एक बार रमेश जी, can you add the comparison chart of Dow with Nifty? Compare. And then just zoom out historically, and then you see how they have.
Maybe इसका monthly chart देखेंगे तो we get a better, yeah, weekly.
मंथली है।
From November 2022.
No, this is escorts. This is escorts.
Sorry.
Yeah, now you can see. Just zoom out a little bit.
देखो कितना अपोजिट चल रहा है।
बढ़िया ना सर, हमारे लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है।
नहीं, बट वो जो थ्योरी के हिसाब से कैसे करोगे आप, जो 320 वाला थ्योरी है तो अपोजिट चलता है बिल्कुल। नहीं, थोड़ा तो है।
नहीं, बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट नहीं है। और 320 वाला जो थ्योरी है वो मतलब डेली बेसिस का स्ट्रैटेजी है। और ये जो चीज है ये थोड़ा सा मतलब पेयर वाला जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है, मतलब सिमिलर लाइंस है पर थोड़ा डिफरेंट है।
राइट।
तो दोनों को मिक्स करना, जैसे मोहित जी बोल रहे थे, वुड नॉट बी एडवाइसेबल एट द मोमेंट। मे बी थोड़ा सा और स्टडी करके वी कैन कम टू अ कंक्लूजन।
ओके। बट इनवेरिएबली यही बता रहे हैं कि अगर वो नेगेटिव है तो दूसरे दिन नेगेटिव ही खुलेगा, है?
हाँ, इमीडिएट बेसिस पे तो वो है, बिकॉज आई मीन एज वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट इज द मदर मार्केट एंड दैट विल हैव एन इन्फ्लुएंस ऑन ऑल द मार्केट। बट जो मैं रे डालियो का जो बोल रहा हूँ, द चेंजिंग वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर, उसमें दैट इज अ डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट। दैट्स वेयर द डीकपलिंग कम्स इन कि यू नो द ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक पावर शिफ्ट्स, और वो इतनी जल्दी होने वाला भी नहीं है। दैट इटसेल्फ विल टेक यू नो अ गुड, मतलब इट कुड टेक अ गुड डेकेड।
ओके।
Even sir, I think nowadays even the gold and the stock market is also getting decoupled, because we had a fall like up to 15,200, but gold didn't go up.
Yeah.
And I was watching some video somewhere. The reason that person, I think that was PR Sundar, he mentioned that the reason is that earlier gold used to be a hedge against inflation. So it was a function of stock market and gold, like inversely proportional. But now, because of all this money of late going into Bitcoin and whatnot, which has again crashed, so there is an instrument called USD BTC. So that instrument has become instrument for hedging against inflation, because that is also capturing your currency depreciation and everything. So I'm not sure how true it is, but that looked like somewhat convincing. If anyone else have any better information on that or knowledge, then maybe it's worth one sharing, because I would really love to know like why gold and is not a hedge against inflation anymore.
मोहित जी का जो लास्ट प्रेजेंटेशन था ना, जो 1 year बैक वाला, he had given on Nifty and gold ETF, आपको याद है मोहित जी?
Yeah, sir. I still do it.
तो you are a great fan of the convergence between these both. But अभी नहीं रह रहा है ना, both are not in the same thing now.
I think वो correlation का जो number है, if we look at that, that itself will tell us कि that correlation is probably coming down.
हाँ. पहले बहुत ज्यादा चलता था, अभी नहीं है।
There are people and theories who say money moves to this one, crypto. So that's why they say, but actually you'll see with time gold will catch up. It's I'll say too early to say that it's not a perfect hedge. Gold is something that if you see China's and Russia's physical gold by monthly data, they are strongly accumulating. I mean, if you see the world order changing videos, everybody will say they want to bring back the gold as a standard, want to bring back pull down dollar hegemony.
Okay.
So even if you have gold and you, I mean, sir, people keep it and put it in lockers, right? We are trading and making more returns out of it. Even if it doesn't, I will happily give away to my next generation after 30 years. I just keep on accumulating, doing strategies to keep on piling it.
Right. Well,
Mohit
any
ji.
other questions? Any questions? Yeah, tell.
कोठारी जी, बाला here.
हाँ,
एक ये जो 320 को डाउ का जो देख के कंपेयर करने वाली बात थी, उसमें क्या होता है, जैसे आज जैसे एक वर्किंग डे में मैं 3:20 पर मैं चेक करता हूँ डाउ की पोजीशन. That time Dow is already closed, if I'm not wrong, right?
Dow future. Dow future trade on 24 hour, na?
I didn't know that. So you have to check the Dow future, which is current at that point in time, right?
हाँ, Dow future.
Okay. Thank you. So that clears my one of the doubts. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Dow future बोल के आप डायरेक्टली आप गूगल में चेक कर सकते हैं. Dow future.
हाँ, गूगल में ट्रेडिंग में सब जगह आपका Dow future है ना. आपका investing.com के अंदर Dow future आता है 24 hours. क्योंकि अपना SGX निफ्टी 24 आवर नहीं आता है, लेकिन Dow future आपका 24 आवर आता है.
अच्छा.
इन्वेस्टिंग में भी
आता
फ्यूचर.
और ट्रेडिंग व्यू में भी देता होगा शायद.
ट्रेडिंग व्यू में अगर आप कैपिटल YM1 एक्सक्लेमेशन डालेंगे तो डाउ फ्यूचर आ जाएगा आपका. यू कैन ऐड इट टू योर लिस्ट.
US30 डालिए बस. उससे
रमेश जी थोड़ा डालिए वो डाउ फ्यूचर डालिए. डाउ फ्यूचर रमेश.
US30 ना.
US30 या. ओके.
All में first one, just select the first one.
US30 ये वाला.
Yeah, you can see this.
अच्छा, this is Dow future ना.
Correct.
So this has to be checked at 3:20, and as per this moment you can take a call for the next day morning.
अच्छा, थोड़ा निफ्टी ऐड करो उसके अंदर. नहीं, निफ्टी ऐड करो and then see at 3:20 what is happening. Say on the Friday. Add now Nifty.
And change it to hourly.
Change it to hourly and see at 3:20 what is happening there. Now see at 3:20. Now this Indian time. The Indian time. Okay. See at the 3:20.
Hourly chart.
This is only Nifty. Where is Dow? Where is Dow future?
You add Dow also, na?
Dow. US30.
So now very Nifty. You add both, na?
But we have to
It is, sir, it is
one chart if we have to add
free version.
Okay.
Free version, sir. Trading view free version.
Trading view free version. Okay.
So you won't get that.
No, you can have a compare, na? Compare chart. Compare indicator.
Well, actually, I think, sir, you future trades more number of hours than 6 hours Nifty.
Correct.
So that's the reason it's not coming in the hourly chart, but daily chart में it will come. उसके ज़्यादा candles होते हैं ना sir hourly में.
अच्छा.
Future के Dow के.
ये डेली चार्ट पे तो नहीं पता चलेगा ना, वो तो आवरली पे पता चलेगा.
नहीं, इसमें कंपैरिजन में पता नहीं चलेगा सर. I think you have to see the candles, where you can see candles there.
Yeah.
But sir, I think that particular strategy or that is a speculative strategy where we are going with hedge. So that is that has got nothing to do with this pair trading actually. So you cannot relate it with pair trading. And that's a different.
No, but we are assuming when we are buying future and taking the put as an insurance, we are assuming that it will go up tomorrow.
That's correct, sir.
So basically, sir, I'll tell you one statistics which I have heard from Vishal Mehta that from I think he took last 10 years or somewhat years data on indices, Bank Nifty or something. Then all the gain which has happened is during the gap up or gap down. So if you would have, if suppose for example, if Bank Nifty in last 10 years would have gone up, say 20,000 points, then if you would have every day during, today evening, you would have bought Bank Nifty and in the morning you would have sold it and would have done consistently for all the time period, then you would have captured all that point. Intraday, if you would have bought Bank Nifty in the morning and have sold during the closing session, you would have made net loss, even for that 10 years time. So, so I mean, of course, it is not a strategy. No one should. It's just a data point and observation which we can.
It's just a
take.
statistical
Absolutely,
information.
absolutely.
A strategy.
Yeah.
Why
Not a
can it
strategy.
not be a strategy?
Statistical information it is.
Sir,
Yes.
but why can it not be a strategy?
See,
Not
it
a
cannot
strategy.
be a strategy because you don't know the drawdowns. Nifty could, like for example, Corona crash. So we will run out of our capital. We'll wipe out our account if we keep taking the long trade during that fall. So over a 10 years
Not
of
like we will just blindly follow that, but
then that is not a strategy. Then it will it will become a discretionary trading.
okay. You got me.
No, sir. It'll be like a blind strategy that you know that if you do n number of times, it is going to give you positively net result of a profit. So it's a sort of a blind.
Not only that, sir. When you take closing position and opening gap up, gap down, and 20 years period, 10 years period, what you were saying, the premium decay on a daily basis will eat it away. And
no, sir,
so,
you have to do it in futures.
But future also has some small amount of premium, right?
Sir, इसमें decay
will be less, but yes,
इसमें decay का effect नहीं आएगा because
sir, you can do it through Nifty Bs or Bank Bs.
correct. या फिर futures में कर सकते हैं या 20 में भी कर सकते हैं.
20 में कर सकते हैं. No, I think what I'm trying to say is that this is based on the principle that indices are made or designed to go up.
Correct.
So,
correct. The basic thing is on a long run because it has gone up. So you have averaged it out.
Yes, that's the principle behind it, and that's why I was wondering why can we not make it a strategy?
Correct. Yes, true.
So since you have said that now a lot of things are coming in my mind that you do not need capital for that as well, because what you're doing is you're buying in the evening and you're selling in the morning. You just want the gap ups and gap downs. That's it, and you do it consistently. And with Bank Bs, you don't need a full lot capital. You can do it with like 10 Bank Bs or very small amount as well, just to check if that works.
Yeah.
So that means you will buy on the evening and then you sell in the morning tomorrow morning, huh?
Yes.
Correct.
तो यार उसमें STT और वो सब लग जाएगा ना 1% तो STT वो सब आ जाएगा because this is equity now. STT taxes वैक्सेस सब आपका खा जाएगा ना 1% के आसपास तो दोनों में.
Yes, sir, you're right. So if we yes, I think we'll have to figure out the math.
Yes.
If that works.
वो देखना फ्यूचर में चल जाएगा कि फ्यूचर में आपको STT इतना नहीं लगने वाला है, बट इक्विटी में तो STT is very high because both become your delivery trade.
Correct.
तो वो सब देखना पड़ेगा. बट मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, इतना आसान नहीं है ये सब जो अपन बोलते हैं ना कि आप ये फ्राइडे वाला कर लो और आप ये डॉ वाला कर लो. All are not so easy.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
सर अभी जैसे शर्मा सर बताते हैं और अपने यादव जी इतने जो पोस्ट करते रहते हैं, मैं अभी तक सारा देख रहा हूँ. मैंने अभी तक एक भी लिया नहीं because unless I understand the basics of that, I can't dare getting into those. वही. तो सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम मेरे साथ ये है.
अभी उन्होंने कल एक बताया था कि फ्राइडे 10 o'clock, ठीक है, फ्राइडे 10 o'clock में आप गूगल में डालिए निफ्टी मैक्स पेन कि निफ्टी का मैक्स पेन फ्राइडे को आपका वो निफ्टी का आपका कितना चल रहा है, मैक्स पेन कितना चल रहा है. ओके, तो उसको आप जो है उसको आप सेल कर दीजिए और उसके 100 पॉइंट आगे का बाय कर लीजिए. बोलता 52 वीक करते रहो आपका, और ये आपको जो है डेफिनेटली जो है आपको 3 से 4% का ROI दे देगा. अब बोलिए बाप.
एवरी वीक. वाह.
एवरी फ्राइडे 10 o'clock गूगल में डाल के गूगल में डाल के
Google-
मैक्स पेन देखना है, मैक्स पेन का निफ्टी का
What is
जो
Max-
मैक्स पेन हाँ क्या
What is
Max
Pain,
Pain,
sir?
ये क्या है सर? Max Pain.
Yeah, this is
Max
I'm hearing this term first time.
Sir,
मैक्स पेन
sir, the main problem is that once
Hmm.
we get exposed to any strategy, the first
Hmm.
question we have is what needs to be done. Rather, the question should be why needs to be done. The
Correct.
question should be कि
हाँ.
ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं हम? What is the logic behind it?
वो लॉजिक ही बताया उन्होंने, हाँ लॉजिक उन्होंने बताया कि थर्सडे को मार्केट बंद हो रहा है, ठीक है, थर्सडे को वीकली सारी बंद हो रही हैं और फ्राइडे को आपका नया वीक स्टार्ट हो रहा है, तो वो बोलते हैं कि आधा घंटे के अंदर मार्केट स्टेबलाइज हो जाता है, आधा घंटे के अंदर। तो 10 o'clock is the time where you find out the max pain. Now max pain is the point where the retailer will lose the maximum and the seller will make the maximum money. That is the max point. आप कभी भी किसी स्टॉक का, निफ्टी का, बैंक निफ्टी का, you can calculate the max pain from the Excel file or you can find out the Google sheet or from Ostra, anywhere you can find out the max pain. तो 9:30 पे आपको जो भी है निफ्टी का जो मैक्सिमम वो सेल करना है और 100 पॉइंट आगे का आपको बाय कर लेना है और इवनिंग में आप जो है उसको स्क्वायर करके बाहर निकल जाइए। ही से यू विल मेक मनी 52 वीक्स में से 45 वीक्स में आपको पैसा मिलेगा इसमें एंड योर रिटर्न विल बी मिनिमम, बोलते हैं 3 टाइम्स आपका जो है पैसा आपका 1 साल में हो जाएगा। अब बोलिए बात।
Sir, Max Pain theory, now it is not working, sir, actually.
नहीं वो ठीक है, वो वर्किंग नॉट वर्किंग, ही सेज कि यू डू इट एंड देन गारंटी देता हूँ, बोला अगर पैसा नहीं बनेगा तो शर्मा जी बोल रहे हैं मैं तुमको गारंटी दे रहा हूँ, मैं अगर पैसा नहीं बने मुझे बता देना, बोले आप ट्राई करके देख लो, बोला फ्राइडे का चलो पेपर ट्रेड करके देख लो 1 महीने के लिए, एवरी फ्राइडे मैक्स में कैलकुलेट करो।
If somebody have stock mock subscription in the group or any other subscription, if someone can back test it for 1 year, that will give good confidence.
या स्टॉक मॉक पे देख लो, नहीं तो अपना ऑप्स्ट्रा भी देख सकते हैं ना, शायद ऑप्स्ट्रा भी है ना
I think if someone have Opstra subscription, then
paid
he
version.
can paid version, yeah, he can check that.
Paid version, so that also you can find out.
Why do you think that Max Pain doesn't work anymore? What's the reasoning?
Ramesh? Yeah.
So since 1.5 year, 1 year, market gap up and gap down, sir, hugely.
Okay.
So drastically changes the open interest. So yesterday closing highest put rating, but next day opening they are wind up the put rating and starting the call rating.
Avinash ji, abhi what? See, this Max Pain theory, this is something that was very relevant in early 2016 when I started till 19 onwards. After the 19 onwards, market regime and the volumes, the participation has changed drastically. Now, if you see daily, the option is like a few, एकदम fluid जैसा हो गया. Plate में if you just tilt the plate slightly left, the whole volume will shift towards the other side immediately, algos and everything. So Max Pain theory was earlier to see or take a judgment where the expiry will happen. What Som sir is telling, this Max Pain, he's telling a very short-term intraday kind of a position. You see, check on Friday. Towards the end, probably it will come to it will go here and there and come to the max point. It will make money out of the theta decay or maybe some delta as well. So from an expiry to expiry, it has stopped working over the years. But what Som sir is selling is not exactly what we're trying to infer here.
Oh, got it. And it's the closing the same day, so that's what I gathered.
Same day close करके निकल जा रहे हो। Every Friday you are doing it. Every Friday 9:30 enter करो और evening में निकल जाओ आप। So he is assuming कि the delta will go down and he will make the money because you are selling the option ना. You are selling the option, you are taking hedge of 100 point above. Okay. तो ये मान के चल रहे हैं कि invariably by Friday evening the theta will come down because you have another 3 days again also. तो he says Friday evening को निकल जाओ आप. So you will make money. So हर एक का अपना अपना concept है, थ्योरी है. That is okay. Yeah.
I have a small submission here, कोठारी जी.
Yeah, बोलिए.
हाँ, मैं कह रहा था कि ये जो ऑब्जर्वेशन है ना, फ्राइडे मैक्स पेन या ना ऑल अदर ऑब्जर्वेशंस,
डाउ थ्योरी,
all strategies have their own success ratio. Okay,
right.
And we can do the back testing based on the data. But at the same time, when we operate in market, fundamentals should be kept in mind that past performance is not the indicator for the future performance. We never know what can happen. Okay.
Yeah,
मतलब we
yeah.
should always keep that in mind. Number one.
बहुत सही है सर, ये बहुत
हाँ,
बहुत बहुत सही कर रहे हैं।
हाँ,
वो
number
तो
one,
आपका
number one.
म्यूचुअल फंड का तो
Yeah,
देख ही लो ना आप।
that is one. Second
Yeah.
is, we as an individuals, are we acting as an investor and trader? Most of people know their category, and sometimes we act as a trader with the investor's mentality. Sometimes we invest with the trader's mentality. That is also a challenging for quite a few, especially for me. Well, I'm sharing my experience. So we have to have a separate mentality for both, or operate only in one area. Second, when we are trading in options, what happens? We are always trading in option of a underlying asset, which is Nifty index is also an underlying asset of the individual shares and all. Some shares have a high weightage, तो एक ऊपर नीचे होगा तो निफ्टी के बाकी 40 शेयर मिलके उसको नहीं बचा सकते, कि अगर वो गिर रहा है तो गिरेगा ही गिरेगा. So any strategy is a individual's observation and which people are sharing, and I appreciate it. People can take their individual call based on that. Max Pain I have tracked personally for some time, and I have seen the Max Pain point even fluctuates during the day because the underlying assets is fluctuating. And the traders, they try to take a call based on their positions, right? Zyadatar option writers are there, and since the algo trading has come in picture, it has become more cumbersome because the trades are triggered by the system. Individuals तो बीच में आते ही नहीं पाते जब तक, और वो इतने वॉल्यूम से ट्रिगर होते हैं कि आपका मैक्स पॉइंट ही शिफ्ट हो गया, आपने ऊपर से लेके गया नीचे गया, एंड प्रीमियम टिकट ऑन. सो व्हाटएवर, having said everything, the point I'm trying to tell you is any strategy which has a good hit ratio of 80% plus. Okay. We all should do our paper trading and take a position. This is what is my submission. And individual's comfort is required. Yeah.
That is what I am trying to say कि any such strategy कि आप फ्राइडे को ये मैक्स पेन कर लो या आप डाउ थ्योरी कर लो, ये सब स्पेकुलेटिव थ्योरीज है, ठीक है ना. तो आई पर्सनली डोंट बिलीव इन ऑल दिस स्ट्रेटेजी. मेरे को स्ट्रेटेजी ऐसा चाहिए कि वो कंप्लीट हो, कि मतलब मेरे को एडजस्टमेंट भी पता है, मेरे को ये भी पता है कि कितना प्रीमियम आने वाला है, कितना मैं प्रीमियम देने वाला हूं, और मुझे नेट में क्या मिलने वाला है. दैट आई कॉल एज ए कंप्लीट स्ट्रेटेजी. जैसे अपन ने वो आरसीडीएस बनाया था, या शॉर्ट शटल का कर रहे हैं, जो भी कर रहे हैं, तो मतलब आई नो कंप्लीटली कि भाई क्या होगा तो मैं क्या कर लूंगा. अभी ये जो है तो पूरा मतलब एक स्पेकुलेशन है. स्पेकुलेशन है तो यार उसमें मैंने अपने क्या दिमाग लाया, वो तो कंप्यूटर को बोलते कंप्यूटर ही कर देगा ना.
वो तो मार्केट फ्लक्चुएट कर बिल्कुल
वो तो किसी को बोलो वो कर लेगा, बच्चा भी कर लेगा कि हाँ भाई वो डाउ को देखो और मॉर्निंग में ये कर लो.
हाँ, लेकिन वो जो सोम जी की स्ट्रेटेजी है ना, वो मार्केट किधर भी भागे उसको इस तरह ट्रैप करने का कि अभी उसको इसको इधर उधर भागने के लिए 1000 पॉइंट भागना पड़ेगा. 1000 पॉइंट निफ्टी का दम नहीं है कि हफ्ते के अंदर इधर उधर हो जाए, राइट. तो वो बीच में कहीं भी खत्म होगी, बीच में मरेगी तो अपने आप को देके जाएगी, पैसा बाग.
तो उन्होंने कल जो हमारे को स्ट्रेटेजी जो बताया था ना, वो यही वाला बताया था, वही आपका ये आयरन निफ्टी वाला, ये जो ये आयरन फ्लाई वाला उन्होंने स्ट्रेटेजी पूरा अच्छे से कल एक्सप्लेन किया उन्होंने. तो मैंने कहा ये स्ट्रेटेजी ऐसा है जो कि मुझे लगता है कंप्लीट स्ट्रेटेजी है.
Correct. And you have a shifting adjustments done, you know when to do what and all that stuff, and it's easy to manage also.
Easy to manage, and you know कि what is happening. ऐसा नहीं है कि मार्केट जो है अलग कुछ भी हो गया, और you never know. अभी जैसे ये अभी आपने मान लो फ्राइडे को अगर डाउ को देखा होता, ठीक है, तो फ्राइडे में डाउ पता नहीं क्या, लेकिन अभी मंडे को तो आपका जो है वो 500 पॉइंट नीचे खुलने वाला है मार्केट, तो आपका सारा का सारा धरा दे जाता, ठीक है ना.
और अगर परसों करेक्ट बिल्कुल सही है. तो मैं जो स्ट्रेटेजी है, जैसे आपकी शॉर्ट स्ट्रेडल है, मतलब इट मेक्स सेंस बिकॉज यू नो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. आप इस पूरी रेंज में सिक्योर्ड हो, राइट. सोम जी की स्ट्रेटेजी आपको पता है इस पर्टिकुलर रेंज में मैं जब भी पोजीशन खोल रहा हूँ, मेरी जेब में पैसा घुस रहा है, नंबर 1. जब भी मैं एडजस्टमेंट कर रहा हूँ, मेरी जेब में पैसा आ ही रहा है, और मार्केट को पैसा निकालने के लिए इस रेंज के बाहर भागना ही पड़ेगा, जो भाग नहीं सकता मार्केट. उसको ट्रैप करके जंगले में भिजा दिया, बच गया बेचारा, मर मुरा के देके जाएगा मेरे ऊपर. That's called sure shot strategies rather than the
not only sure shot, you have a confidence in your strategy.
Yes,
that is the major thing. You have a confidence in your strategy कि मैं जो कर रहा हूँ उसका मेरे को पता है कि यार ऊपर चला जाएगा तो ये करूंगा, नीचे चला जाएगा तो ये करूंगा, तो एक मेरे को पीस ऑफ माइंड है. अब ये जो बाकी जो ये स्पेकुलेशन टाइप है, आप फ्राइडे को ये कर लो, थर्सडे को ये कर लो, फलाना कर लो, तो वो सब स्पेकुलेशन है, मतलब तो वो मेरे को नहीं
वो
जमता है।
चल भी सकती है, चल भी सकती है,
अच्छा,
ऑल दैट ऐसे आया है।
अच्छा अभी एक डिस्कशन कल हमारा और हुआ, ही वाज
हाँ।
मतलब डेट, मतलब कि आप स्टॉक्स में से निकल जाओ,
हाँ
ही से स्टॉक्स में से आप कंप्लीटली निकल जाओ, and you मूव ओवर टू निफ्टी एंड बैंक निफ्टी ओनली, बिकॉज दो निफ्टी एंड बैंक निफ्टी कैन नॉट बी ऑपरेटेड बाय एनीबडी। मतलब पूरे सारे दुनिया के अगर अपने इंडिया के ऑपरेटर भी घुस जाए तो दे आल्सो कैन नॉट ऑपरेट द निफ्टी एंड बैंक निफ्टी, बट स्टॉक्स कैन बी मैनेज वेरी वेरी इजीली। मतलब स्टॉक्स को आप 20% ऊपर लेके जा सकते हो, 20% नीचे लेके जा सकते हो, बट निफ्टी बैंक निफ्टी में नहीं कर सकते। तो
बिल्कुल
मतलब
सही
ही वाज
उनकी ऑब्जर्वेशन है सर, बिल्कुल सही, क्योंकि बैंक निफ्टी में खाली 12 शेयर है, चलो एक बार को 25 30 50 मोटे ऑपरेटर मिलके कुछ कर भी ले, निफ्टी में तो चांस ही नहीं सर। आप किसकी हिम्मत है कि वो एल&टी, रिलायंस और टीसीएस और इन्फोसिस और एचडीएफसी इन जैसी कंपनियों को हिला के और निफ्टी के बागे बजाए, कोई चांस ही नहीं सर।
सर आई टोटली एग्री विद दैट, आई टोटली एग्री विद दैट के स्टॉक जो है वो कैन बी इजीली मैनिपुलेटेड, but my question is that as a trader what advantage you will get, because as a trader what you need to see is that when you are taking trade, when is your exit, and if things go south or north, what you will do. So that you will do in case of stocks, same thing in the case of stocks, and same thing in the case of index. I understand the liquidity is very good in index, but how will that thing make a difference? I'm not cross questioning it, I'm asking from the perspective of understanding.
ओके ओके, आई विल टेल यू सिंपल एग्जांपल। आपने यस बैंक 500 में खरीदा, ठीक है, यस बैंक या डीएचएफएल आपने 700 में खरीदा। अगर ये इंडिसेस होता तो आप एक रोल ओवर, दो रोल ओवर में पक्का निकल गए होते आप, पक्का निकल गए होते आप। लेकिन क्योंकि ये यस बैंक था, आप वो 500 वाले को 15 तक लेके बैठे हुए हैं आज। और अगर यही अगर निफ्टी और बैंक निफ्टी होता तो आप इतना रोल ओवर थोड़ी करते उसको, वो अपने आप ही सिस्टम से आप बाहर निकल गए होते आप। दैट इज द नंबर 1 पॉइंट। नंबर 2 पॉइंट जो सबसे बड़ा, जो अभी विकास जी ने बताया कि मतलब आप यस बैंक को आप आज 15 से 1000 रुपए लेके जा सकते हो आप, बट बैंक निफ्टी को आप मूव नहीं कर सकते, या निफ्टी को आप मूव नहीं कर सकते ऐसा। सो दैट, और सबसे बड़ा जो रीजन जो उन्होंने दिया था कि जब मैं तुम्हें गारंटी दे रहा हूं कि तुमको 5 से 10% का आरओआई में तुम्हें आयरन निफ्टी में निकाल के दे रहा हूं, आयरन निफ्टी का जो मैं तुम्हें पूरा सेटअप बता रहा हूं, उसमें जब तुम्हें गारंटी दे रहा हूं कि तुम्हारा कैपिटल का 5 से 10% मंथली आरओआई आ रहा है, तो तुम काहे को ये स्टॉक में जाके फंस रहे हो, बोलता है वो। उनका सिंपल लॉजिक था, उसका आई हैड नो आंसर। और अपन जो सारे बोलते हैं ना ग्रुप के अंदर सारे बोलते हैं कि मेरे को जी में इतना प्रॉफिट आ गया, मेरे को जो फलाने में इतना प्रॉफिट आ गया, मैं जो 3 में जो लॉस हो रहा है वो तो बताता ही नहीं हूँ किसी को। जो मेरी पार्किंग इन्वेंट्री चल रही है आईडीएफसी बैंक वाली, जो मेरी 2 साल के बाद में खत्म हुई है, वो मेरी आत्मा जानती है कि कैसे आईडीएफसी बैंक से मैं निकला हूँ। और बीपीसी में जो फंसा हुआ हूँ वो तो फंसा हुआ ही हूँ मैं। बीपीसीएल तो वो 500 का वो डिविडेंड के चक्कर में आज 300 रुपए आ गया।
सही बात है सर, सही बात है सर। ये
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही कही।
I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing. When we decide to exit a stock, actually that is the right time to enter, because आप अकेले नहीं हो, आपके जैसे करोड़ों लोग हैं जो वो रेट पे लेके बैठे रहे, 28 रुपए देख लिया और वापस 55 आते ही निकल गए। And actually smart money will enter now.
मुझे को लगता है कि 55 में जो है ऑपरेटर्स ने भी माल खाली कर दिया। अभी कल तो 52 रुपए आ गया था वो। लेकिन मैं लॉजिक समझिए इसमें, जो बताना चाह रहा हूं कि अगर ये निफ्टी और बैंक निफ्टी में अगर आप होते तो आप 27 रुपए तक नहीं जाते। आप पहले ही रोल ओवर कर लेते और कुछ कर लेते, 1000 चीज कर लेते थे, बिकॉज कि हम जो है उसमें फंसे और उसको और नीचे गिरता गया, अब आ जाएगा अब आ जाएगा, और करते 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 27 रुपए आ गया हो। दैट इज द मेजर इशू, दैट इज द मेजर इशू। हाँ, एंड दूसरा वो बता रहे हैं कि जब मैं तुम्हारे को नहीं, दूसरा जो सबसे बड़ी चीज है कि आप मार्केट में कर क्या रहे हैं, पैसा कमाने के लिए बैठे हुए हैं, ठीक है। और जब आप पैसा 5% का आरओआई में तुम्हें गारंटी से मैं तुम्हें निफ्टी और बैंक निफ्टी में लेके दे रहा हूं, तो बोला तुम्हारे को ये स्टॉक में जाने का जरूरत क्या है। वो बोलते हैं क्या गारंटी है कि कल अगर मान लो जैसे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने जी में ये निकाल दिया कि साहब ये मर्जर हम नहीं होने देंगे, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन का स्टेटमेंट आ जाइए, वो बोलता है जी तुम्हारा 100 रुपए मिलेगा 3 दिन के अंदर। अब बोलो तुम क्या कर लोगे, जरा बताओ, यू टेल मी। आपने 5 लॉट 6 लॉट खड़े हैं
सर, 5% आएगा कैसे पर मंथ?
वो सर एक मिनट में, बिफोर दैट माय पॉइंट गेट हाईजैक, आई विल आंसर दिस 5% वाला क्वेश्चन आल्सो। See, coming back to the strategy front again. See, we all as a investor in our group are looking for a safest strategy to maximize gain. I mean, as simple as that. Okay. And I think it's a motto of every person in this webinar. And yeah, okay.
Right.
Now,
हम स्पेकुलेशन नहीं करेंगे, स्पेकुलेशन नहीं करेंगे और ये गैम्बलिंग नहीं करेंगे और हमारे को सेव करके पैसा आ जाए. That is what we want.
Now, having said it, जो मेरी ऑब्जर्वेशन है, remember in between I had proposed that I will consolidate strategies and share with everybody, and I shared personally with you also. I have found two strategies which are best, I think benefit of for everybody. One of them is जो सोम सर ने शेयर की है, इंडेक्स में आयरन फ्लाई with the adjustments.
वही उसी की बात कर रहा हूँ.
That is number one. And number two, for the shares, if people want to have, is your short straddle. Okay, with a keep an eye and exit ruthlessly as soon as your target is hit. मतलब आप उसको फिर उसमें ग्रीड नहीं क्रीप इन होनी चाहिए कि यार मेरे को कभी इतना और रख लेता तो ये हो जाता और खड़ा हो जाता तो इतना कमा लेता, वो नहीं. These two I found as a best. Rest other are observation. वो short scalping है, आप 3-20 पे खोल लो, सवेरे मिल गया, ठीक है, नहीं 500,000 दे दो, ठीक है, उन्होंने 25 दिन में कमाया है. आई अप्रिशिएट इट एंड इट इज वर्थ टेकिंग इट ट्राई. 50,000 रुपए लगा के बंदा खेल सकता है. लेकिन अगर आपने श्योर शॉट कमाई लेनी है, हर महीने जेब में पैसा डालना है, आई फाउंड एज ए बेस्ट स्ट्रेटेजी. दैट इज माय हम्बल सबमिशन. नाउ आंसरिंग टू दैट,
वही बता रहा हूँ चतुर्वेदी में ऐड कर रहा हूँ कि क्या मैं 50 लाख रुपए आपका 320 वाले स्ट्रेटेजी में लगा सकता हूँ? आई कैन नॉट.
नहीं लगा सकता.
I cannot put 50 लाख रुपए इन दैट.
लेकिन मैं सोमजी वाली स्ट्रेटेजी में लगा दूंगा.
हाँ, सोमजी वाली जो आपकी मंथली वाली जो ये आयरन फ्लाई है, उसमें मैं लगा सकता हूँ आराम से.
लगा दूंगा. मैं लगा दूंगा.
मुझे प्रॉब्लम.
मैं लगा दूंगा.
हाँ, तो मेरे को ऐसी स्ट्रेटेजी चाहिए जो मेरे को कंप्लीट पैकेज देवे. मेरे को मतलब मैं उसको मैनेज कर लूं, मुझे राय ले लूं. मैं ये नहीं कि मार्केट के बेसिस पे यार आज ऐसा हो गया, वो मुझे नहीं चाहिए. हाँ, आप बोलिए बात.
अब जैसे आपने वो टीसीएस की बात कही थी कि मैं टीसीएस का पूरा कंप्लीट लॉट ले लो और ऊपर का कॉल शॉर्ट करते रहो, मतलब आप 2-3% रेंटल कमाते रहो. इट्स अ श्योर शॉर्ट स्ट्रेटेजी. वो मार्केट लेके जाएगा पैसा, कहीं लेके.
अरे नहीं, उसमें भी तो प्रॉब्लम ये था ना कि आपने अगर 3800 में अगर टीसीएस लिया होता और वो 3000 आ गया, वो 800 रुपए आने में उसको लग जाएगा 2 साल, तो क्या करोगे आप?
नहीं वो ठीक है.
कवर्ड कॉल में ये सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो गया.
आई नो वो थोड़ा लॉन्ग टर्म है, लेकिन जो 5% वाला क्वेश्चन है उनको मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा. आई फॉरगॉट हिज नेम, जेंटलमैन्स नेम, हु वाज आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन, कि ना सोम सर की जो स्ट्रेटेजी है, आई थिंक वी हैव शेयर्ड इट इन सम प्रेजेंटेशंस. और कोठारी उसमें इट्स बेसिकली ओपनिंग ए आयरन फ्लाई and do the required adjustment. I think Kothari ji can throw more light on that because he said with him personally. I observed it from other side, and it sure shot gives you that return 4 to 5% in week to 10 days time. आराम से निकल आता है वो पैसा, 10 से 12 दिन में आराम से निकल जाता है. तो Kothari ji, if you can share that strategy, I think it will answer the question to the gentleman who was asking that question.
मैं जस्ट अभी वो स्लाइड शेयर कर रहा हूं मैं, and then we'll end our presentation. ठीक है?
Okay.
I'm just sharing that slide. आपको दिख रहा है ये? Not this one. एक मिनट.
इस आ गया सर.
हाँ, डे ट्रेडिंग किधर गया वो? नहीं, मैंने गलत खोल दिया मैंने. I opened the wrong one. I have to open this one. Som Sharma Amritwani. Can you see now? Are you able to see this slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will just cover this slide. What he explained yesterday. This is the same strategy. Now I have noted down all the points. So that we'll discuss. Okay. Number one, initiate the short straddle before 40 or 45 days before expiry. Okay. जैसे आपको निफ्टी में अगर करना है तो अभी अपन नवंबर की करेंगे अराउंड 40 to 45 days before the expiry. That is the number one condition. Number two condition, buy long strangle at 500 points away from break even points of short straddle. मतलब पहले आपने क्या है, शॉर्ट स्ट्रैडल किया है एटीएम स्ट्राइक पे और उसका जो है आपने हेज लिया है, जो उसके ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट है स्ट्रैडल के, उससे भी 500 पॉइंट्स अवे का आपने जो है लॉन्ग स्ट्रैंगल आपने खरीदा है. थर्ड है, now sell double straddle to get the premium paid for long strangle. मतलब जो हमने ये जो इंश्योरेंस खरीदा था, जो सेकंड लाइन वाला है, स्ट्रेंगल वाला, उस इंश्योरेंस को भी मैं नहीं देना चाहता उसको मैं, तो उसका मैं डबल स्ट्रेडल में बेच दूंगा उसका काफी आगे जाके, वो मैं उसका जो डबल स्ट्रेडल मेरे को सेल करना है। एंड स्टॉप लॉस उसका मैं 2 टाइम्स करके रखूंगा। ये 4 कंडीशन है, मैं भी एग्जांपल दिखाता हूं मैं आपको, जिससे आपको अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन आएगा। और इफ द मार्केट, ये एडजस्टमेंट वाला पार्ट है, पहले अपन उसका वो देख लेते हैं। तो सपोज निफ्टी इज एट 17,500 फॉर नवंबर 22 विच इज 45 डेज अवे फ्रॉम द एक्सपायरी। मतलब आज से अपना जो है, आज जो आपका निफ्टी ट्रेड हो रहा है, मान लीजिए 17,500 पे ट्रेड हो रहा है, और नवंबर 22 की हम जो है एक्सपायरी ले रहे हैं। तो व्हाट वी विल डू, वी विल सेल द 17,500 स्ट्रेडल ऑफ निफ्टी, यानी कि 17,500 की कॉल बेची और 17,500 का पुट बेचा 1,000 रुपए के अंदर। ठीक है, 1,000 रुपए आपको आ गया, यानी 50,000 रुपए आपको आपके अकाउंट के अंदर आ गए, और आपका मार्जिन लग रहा है शायद इसमें समथिंग अराउंड 2 लाख के आसपास मार्जिन लगने वाला है, और 50,000 आपके अकाउंट में आ गया। नाउ इसका जो ब्रेक इवन है, 1,000 पॉइंट का आपको प्रीमियम मिला है, तो आपका ब्रेक इवन कितना हुआ? 16,500 एंड 18,500। तो आपको इसके भी 500 पॉइंट अवे का स्ट्रेंगल खरीदना है। ये बहुत सिमिलर टू आरडीएससी वाली जो मैंने थ्योरी बताई थी, वो वैसा ही वाला थ्योरी है। स्ट्रेडल बेच के आप स्ट्रेंगल खरीद के आप उसको कवर कर रहे हो। तो आपने क्या किया है कि लॉन्ग स्ट्रेंगल आपने खरीद लिया 16,000 का पी का, और 19,000 सी का आपने लिया मान लीजिए 200 रुपए में, यानी कि आपने 1,000 रुपए आपको मिला है, और 200 रुपए आपने मार्केट को इंश्योरेंस के लिए दे दिया है। यहाँ तक क्लियर होगा सबको, कोई इसमें डाउट नहीं होना चाहिए।
सर ये सब एक्सपायरी सेम एक्सपायरी में चल रहा है सर?
सेम नवंबर की बात कर रहे हैं, सेम नवंबर की बात कर रहे हैं। ठीक है ना?
ओके सर।
तो अपन ने 1,000 रुपए लिया, 1,000 रुपए मार्केट से ले लिया, 200 रुपए मार्केट को दे दिया। अब वो सोम जी बोलते हैं मुझे 200 रुपए भी उनको मार्केट को नहीं देना है, तो वो क्या बोल रहे हैं कि 2 स्ट्रेंगल आप फिर बेच दो 15,500, 19,500, यानी कि उससे भी 500 नीचे का, मतलब मार्केट आपका जो ब्रेक इवन 3,000 से ऊपर चला जा रहा है, तो 15,500 और 19,500 का जिसका प्रीमियम 100 रुपीज है, उसके 2 स्ट्रेंगल आप बेच दो, तो ये 200 रुपए आपके वापस आ गए। क्लियर है? क्लियर है आपको ये वाला लाइन? हमने स्ट्रेंगल खरीदा 16,000 और 19,000 का 200 रुपए के अंदर टू प्रोटेक्ट अवर स्ट्रेडल, लेकिन वो बोल रहे हैं मुझे 200 रुपए भी मार्केट को नहीं देना है, तो ये 200 रुपए भी वो बोलते हैं मैं वापस लेना चाहता हूं मैं, तो उसके लिए उसके उन्होंने 2 आउट ऑफ द मतलब फार ओटीएम के 2 स्ट्रेंगल और उन्होंने बेच दिए, 15,500 का और 19,500 का। आज मार्केट चला 17,500 में, 2,000 पॉइंट का वो आपने इसका जो है आगे का जाके बेचा है। और निफ्टी एक महीने के अंदर 2,000 पॉइंट जाना तो मतलब ऑलमोस्ट इम्पॉसिबल है। ठीक है ना? तो अब उन्होंने जो है ये 2 स्ट्रेंगल बेच दिए उन्होंने आपके 100 रुपए के, तो ये उन्होंने 200 रुपए जो मार्केट को दिया था वो उन्होंने मार्केट से वापस ले लिया। बट वो बोलते हैं कि हो सकता है कोरोना आ जाए, हो सकता है किसी को कोई अपना एटॉमिक बम डाल दे, तो वो बोला कि यार एक अपना जो है छोटा सा स्टॉप लॉस 200 रुपए का, वो जो आपने जो स्ट्रेंगल बेचा है उसका आप लगा लो। ठीक है, ये तो हो गई पूरी स्ट्रेटेजी वाली बात। अभी वो बोलते हैं अगर मार्केट अगर आपका 300-400 पॉइंट मूव हो जाता है, अगर आप ये नहीं भी करते हो, तो आपका आरओआई बोलता है गारंटेड 5% आ जाएगा, गारंटेड 5% आपको ऊपर वाली लाइन तक आ जाएगा। अगर आपको थोड़ा और ज्यादा निकालना है, तो बोलता है कि जब भी मार्केट 300-400 पॉइंट मूव होता है, तो आप 17,800 ऊपर चला गया मान लीजिए, तो 17,800 की पुट बेच दो विद ब्रेक इवन एट 17,500, मतलब 17,800 का जो प्रीमियम आएगा उसका ब्रेक इवन जो है पहले वाले स्ट्रेडल का होना चाहिए। ये था उनका कंप्लीट स्ट्रेटेजी जो उन्होंने बताया था कल, एंड यू आर लाइकली टू गेट 5 to 10% मंथली आरओआई। इस पे अब आप कमेंट कीजिए आप, दिस इज द होल स्ट्रेटेजी, आप लगा लो इसमें। वी वर 3 देयर एंड वी ऑल 3 डिसाइडेड कि वी विल टेक दिस एज अ स्ट्रेटेजी नाउ, लेट अस सी।
फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज हु वाज द थर्ड वन?
थर्ड वन मतलब
आपने बोला कि वी 3 वर देयर, तो आप सोम जी और तीसरा कौन था?
नहीं हम चार थे। एक थे हमारे ललित शर्मा जी, एक थे ललित शर्मा जी फ्रॉम जयपुर, और मिस्टर मेहती जो थे वो कलकत्ता से आए थे। हाँ, मिस्टर मेहती ही केम फ्रॉम कलकत्ता, तो वो भी थे, और उन्होंने अपने ही आईओसी के गेस्ट हाउस में ये हमारा छोटा सा गेट टुगेदर अरेंज किया था, तो हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया। हाँ, तो अभी
अरे सर वो 5वां भी था, वहाँ 5th भी था।
5th कौन था?
शिवाज लीगल
नहीं शिवाज नहीं गया था, बियर थे। तो ये दोनों हाँ, ये दोनों बियर वाले थे। हम जो है मैं वेजिटेरियन था, मैं नॉन ड्रिंकर था। वो छोड़िए, सवाल ये है कि ये जो स्ट्रेटेजी है ना, ये एक कंप्लीट स्ट्रेटेजी लग रही है, और मेरे को उसमें कॉन्फिडेंस आ रहा है, क्योंकि मैंने स्ट्रेडल बेचा है, मैंने स्ट्रेंगल खरीद लिया, मेरा प्रोटेक्शन है, मेरे को डर नहीं है। वो बोलते हैं ये स्ट्रेटेजी लेके आप बैठ जाओ, आपको कुछ करने का जरूरत नहीं है, 50 लाख लगा दो, 1 करोड़ लगा दो, 5% का आरओआई ना आए तो मुझे बोला मेरा नाम बदल देना। दैट इज द कॉन्फिडेंस।
या बिल्कुल सही ऑब्जर्वेशन है सर उनकी, और मैंने बेस्ड ऑन हिज आई हैड शॉर्टेज ऑफ कैश फॉर सम अदर रीजंस, तो मैंने पेपर ट्रेड्स ली, बट आई फॉलोड हिज रूल टू टोटो, मतलब इन टोटो एक एक पॉइंट पे। अगर वो 218 मूव की तो जाकर के वो ना शॉर्ट करने का, और नीचे भागी तो कॉल शॉर्ट करने का। एट द एंड व्हेन आई एग्जिटेड ऑन 6 अक्टूबर, मतलब उन्होंने 17-18 सितंबर को क्लास ली थी, 22 सितंबर को मैंने पोजीशन खोली, 6 अक्टूबर को एग्जिट किया, एंड आई रिटर्न, आई गॉट ए डिसेंट रिटर्न ऑन दैट पेपर ट्रेड। अगली मैंने पोजीशन 29 सितंबर से खोली है एक्सपायरी के दिन से, तो 13 अक्टूबर को होगी, और आज की तारीख में वो अच्छी खासी प्रॉफिट में है। और अगले 3 दिन में उसको अगर मेरे को मारना है तो कम से कम निफ्टी को 800-900 पॉइंट इधर उधर भागना पड़ेगा। 900 पॉइंट निफ्टी भागना मुश्किल है।
बराबर, मैंने उनसे यही पूछा कि मेरे को मान लो ये स्टेटस, मेरे को एडजस्टमेंट नहीं आता है, मेरे को जो लास्ट का जो 2 लाइन है मुझे नहीं आता, वेदर आई विल मेक द मनी, ही से यू विल गारंटेड मेक 5% ROI। आप करके देख लो भाई, कभी अगर मार्केट ही बंद हो जाए, मार्केट ही अगर 5000 पॉइंट ऊपर नीचे हो जाए तो उसका तो कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता, ठीक है ना। अगर जैसे कोरोना जैसी कोई चीज आ जाए तो वो बात अलग है, उसमें भी आप प्रोटेक्ट रहोगे, लेकिन अदरवाइज इनवेरिएबली यू विल गेट अ 5% रिटर्न। तो अपने को ऐसा काम करो ना यार, अपन काय को अपन इसमें गैम्बलिंग में जा रहे हैं, काय को हम जो है ये सब काम कर रहे हैं। आराम से चुपचाप करके बैठ जाओ, चाहे स्टॉक में करो, ये दोनों थ्योरी आर ऑलमोस्ट सेम। जो मैंने जी का वो RDCS जो बताया था, और ये वाला थ्योरी बहुत आर सेम। स्ट्रेडल बेचा है, स्ट्रेंगल से हमने इसको कवर किया है और कुछ नहीं किया। इन्होंने स्ट्रेंगल को भी जो है
कितना टोटल कितना कैपिटल लगेगा
इसमें? एक सेट में करीबन आपको 10 लाख लग जाएगा।
अच्छा, और एक क्वेश्चन है, लास्ट लॉस स्टॉप लॉस जो है ना, उसके बाद जो लास्ट बट थर्ड पॉइंट, पुट स्टॉप लॉस ऑफ 200 फॉर सोल स्ट्रेंगल, ठीक है, मैं 200 में तो सेल कर दिया, जब वो 0 मतलब
आपने 100 रुपए का बेचा है ना भाई, आपने 100 रुपए का स्ट्रेंगल बेचा ना, 2 स्ट्रेंगल आपने 100 रुपए के बेचे हुए, 15,500 और 19,500 का, तो उसका जो है 200 रुपए का प्रीमियम का आप जहां भी पॉइंट आ रहा है उसका स्टॉप लॉस लगा के बैठ जाओ, तो वो तो आपको पैसा लगाना ही नहीं, स्टॉप लॉस लगाया है ना, यू नॉट टेकन एनी पोजीशन, तो वहां तो अपना मार्जिन लगेगा ही नहीं। तो वो बोला कि 99.99% तो आपका स्टॉप लॉस हिट होगा ही नहीं कभी भी, लेकिन कभी भी हो भी जाएगा तो ठीक है ना, उसमें उतना आप कम से कम आपको, क्योंकि आपकी नेकेड पोजीशन हो गई, जो 2 आपने स्ट्रेंगल बेचे हैं आपने 15,500 और 19,500, वो नेकेड है अभी, देखो वो हेज नहीं हो रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए बोला मैंने स्टॉप लॉस लगाया है, लेकिन वो होने वाला नहीं है। बाकी जो पहली वाली जो 4 पोजीशन है वो तो क्या
मतलब अगर उसी स्टेज में चले जाता है तो देन सब क्लोज करो निकलो।
हाँ, तो स्टॉप लॉस होकर निकल जाना, तो उसमें मतलब 30-40 रुपए का लॉस हो जाएगा, और क्या है, मतलब ये नहीं है कि मतलब ये
वहां तक मार्केट पहुंचेगा ही नहीं ना, वहां तक मार्केट आप 2000 पॉइंट नीचे 2000 पॉइंट ऊपर आपकी एक्सपायरी से पहले मार्केट, आप पूरी हिस्टोरी उठा लो जब से ऐसे शुरू हुआ है, कब वो वीकेंड मतलब वीक 10 डेज के अंदर 2000 पॉइंट ऊपर नीचे हुआ है। कोरोना टाइम
17,500 टाइम 17,500 से 15,500 या 17,500 19,500 2000 पॉइंट एक महीने में तो मतलब आज तक नहीं हुआ कभी भी है। इवन कोरोना के टाइम पे 2000 पॉइंट एक बार पे तो नहीं निकला है, वो निफ्टी 2000 पॉइंट नहीं निकला है सर, तो मतलब फिर भी स्टॉप लॉस लगा के रखा है। तो अपन तो ये शुरू का चार्ट देखेंगे तो आराम से आपको जो है इसमें पैसा निकल के आएगा। तो अपना शांति वाला काम करो यार, काय को इधर उधर जाके मुंह मारना, वो स्कैल्पिंग करो, ये करो वो करो फलाना करो, टेंशन लो, इसमें आप जो है अपना चालू कर दीजिए, शांति से बढ़ जाइए, बोले आप वो बोलते हैं कुछ नहीं करना तुम्हारे।
सॉरी सर, इसमें जितना भी ये दिस इज ऑल सिंगल लॉट्स,
आप सिंगल लॉट में करो 10 लॉट में करो, किसमें भी कर सकते हो ना, कॉन्फिडेंस है आपको अपनी स्ट्रेटेजी पे ना।
राइट,
सबसे बड़ा ये है कि मैं 10 लॉट का भी काम कर सकता हूँ उसके अंदर,
ओके,
5 का भी कर सकता हूँ।
या जैसे आप कह रहे हैं अगर लॉट हमें 1 की जगह 2 करना है या 2 की जगह 10 करना है, तो वो फिर यूनिफॉर्मली सबको चेंज करना है उसी अकॉर्डिंग,
सभी को चेंज करना पड़ेगा, बराबर है ना।
यस, एंड आई थिंक वन इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट इज व्हेन यू एग्जिट फ्रॉम ऑल द लेग्स साइमल्टेनियसली, ये नहीं कि आपने प्रॉफिटेबल से पहले निकल गए, लॉस वाली बाद में निकलेंगे, पता चला लॉस वाली ने किडनी बिकवा दी अपनी, वो नहीं होता।
लेकिन इसमें वो बता रहे हैं कि अगर तुमने ये ट्रेड लिया, वो बोलते हैं मैं तुम्हें एडजस्टमेंट भी करवाऊंगा, ऐसा नहीं है, वो बोलते मेरी स्ट्रेटेजी साथ साथ चलेगी आपको, ऐसा नहीं कि उन्होंने स्ट्रेटेजी बता के। और दुनिया में जितने भी अपने चार्टिस्ट है ना, चार्टिस्ट हैं या जो टिप देते हैं, वो सिर्फ अपने को ट्रेड बताते हैं। शर्मा जी बोलते हैं कि मैं तुम्हारे साथ में ट्रेड लूंगा, और मेरे वहां लिखा रहेगा कि ये मैंने ट्रेड ली है एक्सपर्ट वाले ग्रुप के लिए, और जैसे ही एडजस्टमेंट मैं करूंगा, मैं ग्रुप में डालूंगा कि ये तुम एडजस्टमेंट कर लो। इतना मेंटरिंग आपको और कहाँ मिलेगा यार, बगैर पैसे के, जरा बताओ मुझे।
सर ये स्ट्रेटजी
इससे तो बढ़िया हो नहीं सकता सर।
ये स्ट्रेटजी उससे डिफरेंट है भाई, जो उन्होंने अभी लास्ट वेबिनार में ली थी ना, जो पिवट पॉइंट करके जो लेफ्ट उन्होंने खाली स्ट्रैंगल से
वो
स्टार्ट
थोड़ा
किया।
एडवांस था, वो पिवट पॉइंट वाला जो था ना, वो बता रहे थे, लेकिन वो बोला उसमें पूरी है ना मैथमेटिक्स है, वो तुम मेरे साथ आके बैठो, 2-4 घंटे बैठना पड़ेगा, तुम्हें सीखना पड़ेगा, तब मैं तुम्हें बताऊंगा कि कैसे फार्मूला काम करता है। वो कल वो उसमें नहीं थे कि वो मुझे एक्सप्लेन कर पाते, तो फिर मैंने भी ज्यादा फोर्स नहीं किया उसको। ठीक है ना?
उसके लिए मैं
इसका एडजस्टमेंट जो आपने भी बताया 17,500 से जब 17,800 पे मार्केट गया, तो हम क्या करेंगे, 17,800 का जितने एक लॉट अगर हमने बनाया तो एक लॉट को वहां पुट सेल कर देंगे।
हाँ, वो हम वहां पे पुट और बेच दे रहे हैं, पुट बेच दे रहे हैं 17,800 का कॉल बेच रहे हैं, 17,000 का 800 का या कॉल बेच रहे हैं,
कॉल बेचेंगे
जिससे कि वो कॉल बेचेंगे, जिससे कि वो आपका वो प्राइवेट वाला जो थ्योरी है ना, वो बैलेंसिंग वाला, वो एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे मेरे को, पूरा ये कॉन्सेप्ट अभी समझ में आया नहीं, मैं इनके साथ बैठूंगा ये यार, मुझे ये लाइन अच्छे से समझाओ आप।
तो सर इसमें फिर पुट सेल करना है, कॉल सेल करना है?
इसमें स्ट्रैडल वाले में पूछ रहा हूँ सर, मैं स्ट्रैडल वाले में अभी जो आपने बताया,
I think it will be put will be sold, Kothari ji. When it goes to 17,800, put will be sold of the lower value, that's there. और एक चीज कोठारी जी और मैं कहना चाहूंगा, on the similar basis, if you remember, sometimes in July, you had shared one strategy along with that TCS example कि आपको 2-3% मंथली रिटर्न कर सकते हैं। You open 3-4 leg आप खोलो, covering each leg by other one, and at the end you always exit in profit. You remember that? I have not able to remember right now, but
वो सब शॉर्ट स्ट्रैडल वाला था, वो शॉर्ट स्ट्रैडल वाले थे सारे के सारे, बट शॉर्ट स्ट्रैडल में सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना, कि कोई मेजर एक्सीडेंट अगर हो गया ना, तो वो एक गले की घंटी बन जाती है बहुत बड़ी। जैसे अभी जी का बता रहा हूँ, जी का अगर कल कोई खराब न्यूज आ गया, बहुत खराब, और जी अगर आलो 200 रुपए में आ जाए, तो आई विल बी होल्डिंग मतलब ऑलमोस्ट 10 लॉट।
No, sir, I'm not referring to that one. I'm not referring to that one. I'm referring to the one where I think I'll figure it out again from your videos. And you shared that also. I found very interesting. I did not practice it for because my father was in a hospital, but I found that strategy was very secured to the extent that each leg was secured. खाली 100-150 पॉइंट ऊपर नीचे हिला और आपका प्रॉफिट आ गया 3-4% निकल जाने का। I think you will remember it when I share it with you privately. I know you shared, and I found that also very interesting. And I'll bring it back to the group so that everybody can benefit from it.
अभी ये जो स्ट्रेटेजी बताया उन्होंने कल जो मेरे को है, इसके अंदर अभी आपको कुछ और डाउट्स है तो बताओ, तो मैं उनसे डिस्कस करता हूँ मैं, बिकॉज आई एम इन जयपुर राइट नाउ। मैं उनके साथ बैठ जाऊंगा।
सर एक क्वेश्चन है, तो ये स्ट्रेटेजी हमने 45 डेज पहले ले लिया, और उसके बाद व्हाट विवेक जी सेइंग एट द विकास जी सेइंग के 10 से 12 दिन में हमको 5% का रिटर्न मिल जाता है, या सपोज हमको पूरे 45 दिन नहीं रुकना पड़ा, कितना मतलब 15 दिन में रिटर्न आ गया।
बराबर। सर मेरा, मैं आपको बताऊं, मेरा जो टोटल फंड ब्लॉक हुआ इस स्टडीज, मैंने एक लॉट से खेला था, और एक लॉट से जब पहला मैंने शॉर्ट से शुरू किया तो करीब 40,000 से शुरू हुआ, टोटल इन्वेस्टमेंट अराउंड 1.65 लाख गया मेरा, और 1.65 से when I exited I made around 9,000 odd rupees approximately, so which is in 2 weeks around 9,000 is approximately 5% a week.
बड़ी तो 50,000 आ रहा है ना आपको, या तो 50,000 आ रहा है ना आपको?
नहीं, मैंने छोटे अमाउंट से खेला सर, एक ही लॉट में खेला। और
अरे बाबा, तो एक लॉट ही तो यहाँ लिया ना मैंने, एक लॉट में 50,000 आपको मिल गया स्टूडेंट का।
हाँ नहीं वो ठीक है, वो उन्होंने मतलब
one second, my question is that if this strategy gives in 15 days, if this strategy gives 5% return and we exit from this strategy, right, 5% का रिटर्न बन गया, then at that point in time what should I do? Should I again go to 45 दिन आगे का expiry and take the trade?
नहीं, हाँ बताओ वो क्या बताते हैं। अगर आपको जैसे 700-800 रुपए का प्रॉफिट आ गया आपको, ठीक है, या आप 5% का जैसा बता रहे हैं, आप वो एग्जिट करके और फिर सारे के सारे जो आपके स्ट्रगल है, आप उस पॉइंट से फिर से स्टार्ट कर दो आप। ये बताया उन्होंने, जैसे 17,500 का किया और मार्केट आपका मूव हो गया, मान लीजिए 18,000 रुपए मूव हो गया, आप 18,000 रुपए स्ट्रगल करके सेम स्ट्रेटेजी चला दो आप। ये 30 दिन से लेके 50 दिन तक में आराम से बढ़िया से काम करेगा।
सर
तो वो भी नवंबर का ही चलाना पड़ेगा सर?
हाँ, नवंबर का चला दूंगा। नवंबर का भी 30 दिन है
या
आपके।
45
हाँ, नवंबर का 30 दिन है ना आपके पास भाई। आइडियली
हाँ।
शुड बी स्टार्टेड अराउंड 40-45 डेज। अब
Okay.
आपको 800-900 रुपए का हिसाब से आपने 40,000 रुपए प्रॉफिट निकाल लिया मान लीजिए, या 30,000 रुपए प्रॉफिट निकाल लिया, ठीक है ना। नाउ आप 30 दिन पे भी करोगे तो आप उसमें बोले 10-15,000 रुपए और निकाल लोगे आप, तो एडिशनल आपका प्रॉफिट हो गया। हाँ हाँ, तो वो भी आप करके आप आराम से करके निकल जाओगे, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली हैज है ना पूरा का पूरा काम इसमें जो सबसे बड़ा जो आप चीज देख रहे हो ना कि अपनी हर चीज हैज है, तो आपको नींद आएगी आराम से रात को, और आप आराम से ऑफिस का काम कर पाओगे, अपने को कुछ नहीं करना। बट इसमें जो सबसे बड़ा जो मेरे को जो इश्यू है वो ये है कि अगर आप इसमें घुस गए निफ्टी और बैंक निफ्टी में, फिर आप स्टॉक का काम नहीं कर सकते आप। हाँ, फिर आप दोनों काम नहीं कर सकते। फिर आपका पूरा दिमाग जो है ना वो निफ्टी के वो सारे ये जो पूरा आपका जो स्क्रीन होगा वो निफ्टी की उसी से भरा रहेगा आपका। फिर आप बोलोगे मैं निफ्टी भी कर लूं और मैं ऊपर जी में भी कर लूं और आईडीएफसी भी करूं, फिर वो नहीं कर पाओगे। लेकिन ये मुझे कन्विंस हो गया कि रिटर्न यहाँ से ज्यादा आएगा और मैं फंसूंगा नहीं। सबसे बड़ी बात है मैं फंसूंगा नहीं, मैं जो कि मैं मुझे डर है आईडीएफसी में मैं कभी भी फंस सकता हूँ, मैं यूपीएल में कभी भी फंस सकता हूँ बुरी तरह से। मैं कोई नहीं जानता, भगवान जानता है, बट यहाँ मैं नहीं फंसूंगा। दैट इज व्हाट माय ऑब्जर्वेशन इज। बोलिए।
नहीं सर, this looks to be one of the best strategies. There is no doubt about it.
Sir,
कोई doubt नहीं है।
if you give me access, I would like to share the trades I had taken for the 6th October expiry wala opened on 22nd. Okay.
Please
in
do
a
that,
sequential order. Right
will be
now,
great,
I can share that, and then people can have the idea what actually I did. Probably it can help people. Yeah, please.
शेयर कीजिए, क्योंकि स्ट्रेटेजी ऐसा होना चाहिए जो एक तो अपने को समझ में आ जाए और बहुत ज्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं हो।
बहुत जरूरी है सर ये बात, क्योंकि स्ट्रेटेजी से कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी से अपने का एक्चुअली सर दिमाग घूम जाता है सर। आई मीन वी आर नॉट इन द स्टेज टू गो टू मच डीप इनटू द कॉम्प्लेक्स
स्ट्रेटेजी कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं होती ना, स्ट्रेटेजी कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं होती तो बिकती नहीं है।
Can you see this strategy? Can you see this screen?
Sir, basically more.
Can you see this screen, please?
Yeah, we can see. Yeah, बोलिए।
Yeah, see, now the serial number shows when I open the position. इसमें I should have recorded Nifty, which is there on paper. I will just put the photo shoot on the photo on the group. तो ये मैंने positions खोली थी 6th October expiry वाली, okay, with a single lot. तो जब मैंने खोली मेरे को कितना मिला? S means sell, B means buy. Okay, call put लेता चला गया, and at the end I had to open only 18 positions total. Okay,
sir इसमें dates नहीं दिख रही सर।
नहीं, मैं आपको सर वो जब मैं फोटो डाल रहा हूँ अभी ग्रुप पे, let me take that paper.
और आपने 17,800 और 18,100 देर वो तो बहुत जल्दी वाला।
नहीं, मैंने क्या है वो उस समय मैंने थोड़ा स्प्रेड बना के लिया था, क्योंकि निफ्टी उस समय 17,630 पे बंद हुई थी, तो मैंने थोड़ा ऊपर थोड़ा नीचे अपने हिसाब से मैंने किया है। बट आई अप्लाइड सोमजी स्ट्रेटेजी कीपिंग विद लिटिल मार्जिन, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम शेयरिंग।
तो आपने स्ट्रेंगल ले लिया स्ट्रेडल की जगह, आपने स्ट्रेंगल की जगह स्ट्रेंगल कर दिया
थोड़ा सा करेक्ट। मैंने किया कि भाई मेरी थोड़ी मतलब अपनी औकात देख के काम करने का उस समय, ठीक है। तो मैंने वो करने के बाद में जो ये किया, आई हैड टू ओपन मैक्सिमम 18 पोजीशंस। दिस वाज माय टोटल व्हिच हैड गॉन, एंड टोटल 1853 रुपए मिले थे। और फाइनली जब क्लोज हुआ मार्केट को तो मैंने इतना पैसा दिया हुआ, ठीक है। Now that is where I made the money, decent amount came into my account. That's what I was sharing. I will put that paper on group right now, where I recorded also कि जिसमें निफ्टी कितनी की थी जब मैंने खोला, और उस समय बैंक निफ्टी कितने की थी, सॉरी ये निफ्टी कितने की थी, और कौन कौन सी पोजीशन खोली, कॉल पुट। The handwriting is little poor, it's very cumbersome को किया है, but people can get idea and they can send me message separately. I will answer it little convenient, maybe late in the night or but point is coming back, the Somji ki jo strategy hai, that is what I am building, that I have gained confidence on his strategy, and it's proving to be the most beneficial sure short confidence building, and that is what is my experience.
नहीं, पर आपने इतने सारे एडजस्टमेंट किए, कल को मैं एडजस्टमेंट अगर नहीं करता हूँ मान लीजिए, नहीं, क्या मुझे पैसा मिलने वाला? हाँ,
नहीं सर, अगर आप एडजस्टमेंट नहीं करेंगे तो फिर वो नहीं, इसमें देखना तो पड़ेगा। मैं 15 मिनट की कैंडल से देखता था, आधा एक घंटा मार्केट आके देखता था, नॉट एवरी टाइम, बट रिकॉर्डिंग रहती थी पूरी। मैं लाइट पर भी डालता हूँ फोटो, तो नहीं, मैं इसमें एडजस्टमेंट करना पड़ेगा। विदाउट एडजस्टमेंट दिस स्ट्रेटेजी वाज I had realized it will work only with the adjustment.
नहीं बट इतना आपने लंबे
सर बेसिकली जील की जगह आप अब बैंक निफ्टी में कर रहे हो, बाकी धंधा तो वही है। मेहनत तो वही लगेगी।
फंडा तो वही है, फंडा तो वही है।
एब्सोल्युटली।
चलिए चलिए, बढ़िया बढ़िया बढ़िया।
सर मैंने फोटो डाल दी है ग्रुप पे, उसमें जब मैंने कौन कौन सी क्वेश्चन कब कब ली थी, वो टाइम डेट सब लिखा हुआ है। 22 सितंबर निफ्टी कहाँ थी, किस समय 3:25 पे, 10:15 पे। So all data is a reference points are available for people to verify if they want, and the handwriting and not so organized way, but point is to basically build up confidence that I trust his strategy, as simple as that. That's what is the point. Yeah.
So thanks a lot, Mohit ji. Thank you very much, Mohit ji. Really, it was a great presentation. वो थोड़ा सीखना पड़ेगा आपका जेड स्कोर और जितना भी जो आपने दिया है ना।
मोहित जी के प्रेजेंटेशन पे एक छोटी सी चीज बोलनी थी मेरे को. Like two things, in fact. One is we share the same background. I am also electronics and telecommunication engineer with finance में operation को किया हुआ post graduation, and but it is too technical for us to understand right now. But it has got some value. He has a very keen observation, the pair trading and all, identifying the pairs and then tracking them and doing it. How to practice it, it may take some time for us, but we appreciate his efforts and knowledge. That's what is my story.
So thanks a lot, Mohit ji. Thanks a lot to Ramesh ji also for sharing your idea. तो ये थोड़ा confidence अभी आ गया. Even अपने ये राकेश जी भी इसमें काम कर रहे हैं. So we have now at least now one strategy available. So let us work on it. क्योंकि काफी safe strategy है. The main advantage जो इनकी strategy का जो लग रहा है, ये safe है. अपन वही strategy देख रहे हैं ना. तो मोहित जी की, रमेश जी की जो strategy pair वाला काफी safe है. We can take that one also. So we can have a try on 1 or 2 trade and then we can see. So thank you very much. It's almost now 1:45.
Thank you, Kothari sir, and all. Yeah. Thank you
very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you everybody.
Thanks to everyone, sir. Thanks.
Great learning we have every Sunday. Let's see. Okay. Bye.